Welcome, everybody, to the Making Awesome podcast. This is episode 268. We are, I don't know, it feels like it's been a bit of a slow news week, but at the same time, it's been a hard week for the community, man. It's been a hard week for the community. I don't know. It's...
Well, I've been staying out of it because
Yeah.
Prusa did an announcement.
They did.
And I intentionally have not looked at it.
Yeah.
So you lovely viewers can see my exact reaction as we read through it.
Yeah, I think that's probably the one that affects the community the most, because I know, like, look, I think it's no secret, we've kind of been gunning for INDEX for a long time, well before, like, Bondtech flew us out to look at their facility and all of that.
Yep.
So we are as heartbroken as the rest of you when it really hasn't turned out to be the perfect baby we were hoping for. Like, chances of it being...
I expected teething problems.
I expected teething, but I don't think I expected this level of teething.
Yeah.
So, I think Prusa, up front, 10 out of 10 response. 10 out of 10 update, 10 out of 10 response. Tommy posted it over on Reddit, so I assume Tommy had some level of... back and forth and writing it. Whoever worked on writing this update for everybody, you deserve a raise. Like, seriously. It is a significant update that kind of boils down to, we did some testing, we're delaying shipping right now, and we will make it right, even if they don't. And Prusa's also committing to extra stuff. So they're committing to something extra. They haven't exactly talked about what it is yet, what that is yet. That's okay. I think everyone's kind of in this, we don't actually know what's going to go on. So we're just going to wait and see what happens.
There's a bit of fallout and we need to wait to see.
Well, what can Prusa do here, right? Prusa has, to my understanding, never made their own nozzles.
No, actually,
not for a while.
No, didn't they on the Mark II?
I was gonna say, not for a while.
That's an eternity for this industry.
I mean, you're talking like more than 10 years ago. The tooling that we used 10 years ago isn't even remotely close to anything that we're doing today. Grand Custard 3D says, can I just say to Jacob, your all clean product is great, but can I suggest one change? Can you make the instructions easier to read?
You're in luck.
Isn't that something that I told you when you first showed me the bottle?
Yes, but we were very limited in our time, and the printing company did not follow the ink recommendation that I gave them, which was white ink, then black, because adding the white on the black makes it easier to read. They just did black, and they didn't realize that even though their own documentation says they do 800 ppi printing, it was not 800 ppi printing, which is why it was also kind of blurry.
I got your 800 ppi right here. I'm
damn
sorry.
Right. But the new one is fixed. We increased the text font. We forced a 2-pixel white border around the black. It is now very legible.
Yeah.
And we've just done an order for the new sleeves because our massive bulk order of bottles has finally cleared customs. Thank you, Strait of Hormuz, for making everything delayed by 3 months. But they finally arrived. We've got new sleeves and new labels on their way with all of these fixed. And for everyone who's received a bottle so far, I'm sorry, because We have English verbosity baked into us. So when we write instructions, they're very verbose to get you maximum performance. We are simplifying it to just cold bed, spray on, wipe off, spray on, wipe off, because the effectiveness is basically the same. Yes, in theory, you are losing about 2 to 3% effectiveness by not using a slightly warm bed.
My
and
humidity is
waiting up
going to
10
do more than that.
seconds. Yeah. So we're just simplifying it because honestly, we've got a load of user feedback now, which has been absolutely glowing. But the biggest complaint was the instructions are a little bit accurate. They're very precise.
Yeah.
Too precise for the nature of the product.
And JR303 said, can't wait to see what you scanned over at Mike's. This will not matter to you because you're not a car guy. And even further, you're not an American car guy. But for all the American car guys out there, this was an original split window C2 Corvette, I believe, from the mid 1960s. And it was a special edition body by one of the original creators of the Corvette molds.
Yeah, you're right. That means nothing to me. All I know is Corvette is an American word.
What it should mean is about a $500,000 car.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
I mean, I can show you a job that just came through to my desk the other day, which is an original Morgan. I hope my background blur doesn't blur that. It probably just did.
I
An
can see it.
original Morgan. Which way? Is it that way? No, that's not it.
That's
way.
why you don't do that.
An original Morgan that they want grills done on it.
Nice. Charge a bunch of money for that.
Yeah, that's about a £500,000 car because Morgans are very spenny, and that is a custom built 1985 car. And then I've also got an original Bentley that somebody wants me to 3D scan, and I don't have a proper scanner, so I've just come along with.
You don't own a scanner.
I don't. But I do have a load of masking tape. So I masking tape up the entire part with Sharpie, draw a load of zigzag lines in 3 different colors for the 3 different pixels in the camera, and photogrammetry slam map it instead.
You don't even need to do the masking tape. Just make sure the car's not shiny.
Having the lines helps have like active like tracking points because photogrammetry doesn't care about the circles, it cares about sharp edges.
You
so
think
having lines intersect gives you sharp edge points for it to track.
That will help. Our tech studio doesn't care. When you're done with the photos, send them to me and I'll generate a much better 3D model than you'll be able to do.
I will be really interested in seeing this versus my very jank 3DF Zephyr Lite edition going into Mesh Mixer and into Blender.
Oh, I don't have any of them handy because one of them is still out in my car. The other one's attached to the HT90 right now. I literally used Osmo Pocket 5s or Osmo Action 5s to do photogrammetry with. It works so good. It works so good.
Honestly, the big thing that people don't tell you is phone cameras are better for photogrammetry than DSLRs because you want the smallest sensor size possible because blur ruins photogrammetry. So having a very crisp image is more important.
I've had no issues with either. I think the biggest issue, so we did a tree for an individual that lives in Australia, some sort of famous tree in Australia. They sent me 2,100 DSLR photos. Now, the big issue there was just the data set size.
Ingestion is going to be the biggest problem on that.
No, it was processing time.
Just getting those.
It was
just getting all those files ingested into the software.
It took a bit. It took a bit. Fazical OG with the £2 says Prusa are not the golden child. No, they're not. And Prusa's entire response kind of shows what we had expected. That Prusa didn't do the kind of testing that we would want. It's the kind of testing that I kind of expected. Like, they were trusting Bondtech. And, well, I think maybe a valuable lesson was learned here. But, you know, let's let's dig into
Let's
it.
go through it.
Yeah, and real
Yeah.
quick, if you're watching, leave a like, get subscribed, all those things. Check out the sponsors. Links are below in that description. So, all right, first thing, shipping is postponed until mid-August, and that decision is the result of a recent update from Bondtech, and that Bondtech has recently confirmed the nozzles currently supplied with INDEX systems are surface hardened rather than fully hardened as originally planned, and has not yet finalized the compensation plan for affected customers. Prusa believes that it is better to wait until both Prusa and the customer has clear information rather than ship kits, while this important question remains unresolved.
Also, I want to just jump in with a disclaimer for everyone watching, especially if you viewers are from America. The UK and Europe have very strong consumer protection rights. Whenever a problem like this occurs, it will be fixed one way or another, and it is a guarantee because it is Consumer Rights Act. It is a legal framework. So if you're afraid like these companies are going to try and do a rug pull and get away with it, they legally can't. Misrepresentation is one of the biggest breaches for consumer rights, and unless they do something about it, they would be in breach in that, which is why both companies involved, Bondtech and Prusa, will make this work. They will fix it.
But Jacob, my freedoms. What about my freedoms?
Yeah, we don't have freedoms to get shafted. We're protected about getting shafted. Only the NHS can shaft us.
So you're telling me you don't want the Marlboro Man to shaft you?
Nah.
It's not Taylor Farms. I promise it's not Taylor Farms giving you the turbo diarrhea. I don't know if you know that that's a joke about RFK Jr. Because legitimately he sounds like the Marlboro Man. Anyways, I think that Prusa's statement here of we need to just like pause, step back just a second, and friggin' wait is the best decision that they could do. It's like, we don't want to start shipping things until we know what's going to happen, because if what's going to happen isn't acceptable to us, we don't want to just pass that, on, right? Like, that is, and I know it sucks for, I'm assuming when they're saying the index conversion kits for Core 1 and Core 1 Plus, that's the Prusa edition is my assumption, is what they were calling that. I guess it also gives Prusa some time to work out any of the little kinks that might currently exist in that system. So it gives them a couple of more weeks to mess around with it. But realize, like, we're already in August, right? The mid-August is 2 weeks away, right? I don't know if Bondtech's going to have a solution by then. We'll see. But Prusa goes on to say that if you bought INDEX with the intention of printing mainly abrasive filaments, the currently available configuration is not suitable for this purpose. Bondtech specifically mentions in their Wednesday blog post that the current shipped nozzles are great for printing a vast majority of 3D prints with an incredible wide range of filaments: PLA, PETG, ABS, ASA, TPU, TBE, PVA, BVOH, HIPS, PC, nylon, PP, PBT, unfilled PC blend, and other non-abrasive materials.
So basically every material that isn't an abrasive.
Yeah, that's what they honestly could have said. These materials will perform exactly as they should with high-quality steel nozzles that you received. Materials like Prusa's Galaxy filaments are similar are also fine, as they do not contain abrasive particles. And that's fair. Generally, they don't, but, your cheap, crappy filament might. So, buyer beware on the cheap, crappy, random materials. So, this next sentence confirms to us that Prusa didn't really do the testing that we had hoped for, but I believe that they're going to now start to do it. And I'm so sorry for Yindrik, whose name I will always butcher, and all of those up in testing. You just got a lot more work to do. It says, as soon as we learned about the issue, we shifted our focus specifically onto abrasive filaments, and these were our early findings. So Prusa has already tested this. And I'm assuming since Bondtech's first announcement of, hey, this isn't hardened to now, Prusa might have been testing this for a while and we don't know. But that tells me that they only started testing when they learned about the issue. It doesn't tell us when they learned about the issue. It just tells us that they learned about it. So they didn't find it themselves. They learned about it. Anyways. After printing 5 kilograms of PETG-CF on several printers, the nozzle still showed great print quality and little to no wear. However...
I mean, that is good. That is good.
Yeah,
but I will say 5 kilos is not a lot.
Well, 5 kilos in each of the 8 nozzles... Well, wait a minute now. That's 40 kilos. That's a fair bit.
True, but at the same time, like... I mean, so for reference, the vanadium volcano nozzles we use are good for between 30 and 50 kilos. And that's a proper vanadium tool steel tip and CHT blade. 5 kilos isn't a lot of testing, IMO. Like, you could do 5 kilos of testing in under 12 hours. Like, if you just set flow rate to max and just push material through.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit annoyed that it wasn't a bigger number that they tested to. Because like normally you would do per kilo inspection. Do a kilo, check the nozzle. Do a kilo, check the nozzle, and get a graph that shows the level of damage.
Hey, this is all something that can easily be remedied in the future. But I think it's fair to say that Prusa really hasn't needed to do nozzle testing because they've always gotten hardened nozzles. It's never been an issue previously. And so, like, at some point, it's like, okay, we're spending this man time to do testing that we already know is going to be fine, and you cut it. I'm not going to hate the player on this one. I think it is a little short-sighted that they didn't, but I think now they see that. And that is what matters here. And I get it. People want to sharpen their pitchforks and go to war about this. You do you, Fu. I'm fine. Yeah. You go do whatever you think is best. But
also, I'd love to see a comparison between the INDEX semi-hardened nozzles versus the degradation of a regular hardened nozzle.
Yep.
Because that, ignoring everything anyone says, data never lies. And if you just give 2 data sheets and it says like after this bit they break, I would be more interested in seeing that.
Well, I'm also curious, do all we have to do is actually just harden the tip? Because the tip see, the tip in theory is not one piece, right? So if INDEX CHT is made the same way that the, and I'm almost positive it's not, but if it is made the same way that the E3D bamboo stuff is made, where the nozzle also has the splitter dingus in it, that little tip part with the splitter dingus is the only thing that needs to be hardened. The shaft where everything gets warm, it doesn't matter.
The volcano vanadium nozzles that we use, they're called vanadium, but they're bimetallic. Do you know what the other material is?
It's probably copper.
It's copper. The entire like borehole is copper, except for the blades at the tip and the nozzle. Like the nozzle tip itself is a vanadium insert. The only company that I know had struggled with this in the past, I think it was Slice Engineering, where they were doing ultra thin stainless steel heat breaks.
Yep.
And they were bursting through them with abrasives. But we're talking like 10 micron thick heat breaks.
Yeah.
That would ablate. A thicker like surface wouldn't ablate anywhere near as fast, because you don't need to go through 10 microns to break a 10 micron heat break. You need to go through 3 microns.
Yeah, and then it starts to wear rapidly. Once you start a little nucleation point, if you will, all of a sudden it ablates rapidly.
It's not actually. It's not that.
Really?
It's the pressure. So what happens if it's only 10 microns thick and you break 3 microns, you've now got basically a wish holding itself together. But if you have more material behind it, you don't care.
Right. It is about the percentage of material removed.
Yeah, because
10
all of
microns,
the
you remove
abrasive
3, that's
wear.
30%.
Oh, it's more because it's square law.
Right.
All pressure is either square law or cube law, depending on which algorithms you're looking at for simulating. But halving a thickness does more than half the damage. So 3
That's what I
microns
tell 'em.
will probably half the strength.
I tell them thick is better, but hey, that's just me.
But it's like the regular nozzles and most hardened nozzles. The wear isn't even on the inside most of the time. It's actually on the very tip where it outputs, because it rubs against the material as it deposits it, is the majority of the damage.
All of this checks out to life as well, Jacob. All of this checks out to life as well.
Yes, it does. Do not rub your tip against hard things.
When in doubt, lubricate.
When in doubt, lube. I mean, that's why you guys have Jiffy Lube, right? In a Jiffy.
Do you know what Jiffy Lube is?
Isn't it a shop?
Yeah. It's a
I know
quick
the
lube
only thing I
shop.
know about Jiffy Lube is you go there, they change your oil filter, and they somehow always decide to use an impact driver to ram it back in, so you can never take it out again.
Well, that's always what you do on the X's car, right? Couple of extra ugga-duggas on that oil plug mean it ain't ever coming out. And if it does come out, go need a new oil pan. Just saying. Not that I would ever do that. I would never do such a thing. I'm a good boy.
In the chat, Amathea Orca, I probably pronounced that wrong. On the Reddit, in the Prusa 3D sub, someone has already cut open an INDEX nozzle.
Yes.
And the heating zone and the nozzle is one part of the CHT insert is from the top. That will probably why there is extra wear, is the nozzle tip is the same material as the rest of it.
And so I'm a little pissed at that person who posted it to Reddit, because I don't think it's the person that actually did the cutting, because their responses tell me it's not the same person. That person posted it into the INDEX Discord, and I had a lot of questions about it. Like, how did they do it without making it ridiculous? Well, they cut it and then they ground it flat with a diamond stone. That makes total sense to me, because they had a piece of swarf left in the nozzle. So I told them to reach out to I told them to reach out to Bondtech to see if they could get a warranty for it. And I said, look, if they request the nozzle back, say, actually, I'd rather keep it, because they do want to keep it. But if Bondtech doesn't want the nozzle back, buddy, you've got a really, really cool, like, trophy, right? Like, who hasn't wanted to see that? But yes, the CHT piece is inserted from the rear, if you will, where it does make it easier because there's no chance of it blowing out the front. Not that I would ever know what that's like. But yeah, it means that they would have to harden that entire hot end part rather than just the tip.
That is a terrible idea.
Well,
for an inductive heated anything, you want to keep as much of it as soft as possible, because it slows down induction if it's harder. Because you need I can never remember the term for it. It's not magnesites.
Ferromagnetism.
Basically, you need well, it doesn't have to be ferromagnetic for induction heating to work, because you're just any metal that's within an eddy current will absorb that current and you can heat it.
Got it.
But the harder you make a material, the harder it is for the magnetic poles in the material to switch. And that switching is what creates the heat. And if you harden it to 1,000 billion hardness, it won't heat at all. It's impervious to induction heating. So you want it as fluid as possible, but then you have the downside of abrasives will just eat it like copper, because it will be copper.
Yeah, so like, I guess I'm used to like the Diamondbacks only having a tip made of diamond. And like, I know the Diamondback guys. One, love them. Awesome people. Like 10 out of 10 people, the Diamondback peeps, like every one of them have, and I will continue to say, that they just go out of their way to make everybody's day better, right? They are one of my I'm stuck and I need help phone calls, and I had to use that once in my life so far, where I had to call them for a rescue, and they came and rescued us because the British train system failed us. And like, there were no questions. It was, all right, where are you? We need to go get our vehicle and we'll get on the road. Like, you want to talk about someone that just gives a damn? It's the Diamondback guys. Like, sincerely, they just give a damn.
Yeah. Every time I've talked to them, they've had that give a damn mentality.
And they're some of the nicest effing people you'll ever meet. If you ever have a chance and you're at a show and Diamondback is there, please go talk to them. One, go ahead and say hi. Tell them that Grant says hi. Go ahead and name drop. I don't care. But you will see that they are just uniquely passionate. And if you have extra time and they're not all that busy, like there's time to chat, ask them about their origin story. The origin story of Diamondback is like the perfect small business origin, even though they have one of the world's biggest producers of industrial diamonds as their backing. But their origin story is super freaking cool. I do want to point out a little further up, Lord Skippy said he sent a reclamation to Bondtech, which is a Swedish law thing. So as a U.S. citizen, but under Swedish law, and asked for either 8 free hardened nozzles or the price of 8 hardened nozzles. They said yes to 8 hardened nozzles when available. So you might.
That's what I expected.
That's what I expect too. And okay, he used a surface grinder to do it. You know, my problem with all of this is that Bondtech, in all of their wisdom, have been not the greatest communicators in this. Yeah.
They probably need a PR manager to look things over before they do it. Like, I don't think they've done anything in the wrong from like a legal standpoint. Anyone watching this, I don't think that like Bondtech as a company have done anything wrong. But I do think,
I don't think they've done anything malicious. They've done things wrong. I don't think it's been malicious.
Well, no, because it's not technically wrong to try an alternative solution to get a hardened nozzle to work. I think the communication on that solution is where everything fell down, and they need a PR manager that can interpret the problems they're having with communication. Because again, like, imagine how many times we heard plus 1 week, plus 2 weeks, whenever anyone asks when index is on the Discord. Having a PR manager who can actually convert engineer to people, that would have been really helpful, because I bet you the reason we kept getting the plus 2 weeks delays was they're trying to fix this problem.
Most likely.
And they didn't know how to communicate it, and obviously people were starting to get a bit angsty that it's dragging on.
Yep.
And they needed somebody to alleviate that pressure by talking to people. They need a PR manager. They need a PR team.
Well, so Scientific Glassblowing points it out, saying a PR manager will make them look fake. I like hearing bad news from the dev team. I too like hearing bad news from the dev team. However, that dev team,
it can be worded better.
Whoever is going to speak on behalf of the company, and if that staff member is fine, but they need to understand that what they are saying can and will be used against them in a court of public opinion. And the public opinion is where Bondtech has messed up. I'm going to shift real quick away from the Prusa message to read some of the Bondtech message, which is something that's pissing people off right now. And I finally lost it on somebody. I really should apologize for how I lost it toward them. I was not very nice. I did tell them, F you. It was not the nicest, but I was really tired of getting tagged in the Bondtech Discord over and over and over again by people that are like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? I take it as directly face value and nothing else, because anything beyond that is not how the Swedes communicate. Anyways, let me see where it is. Crap. All right, I'll just read the whole thing then. We know you're angry, and you should be. We sold a nozzle that was not what we promised, and we take complete ownership of this mistake. We are actively working on a full solution to rectify this for everyone affected. Getting this right matters more than getting it out fast, and right now, much of the team is on summer leave, so putting together a complete plan properly is going to take a bit longer than we'd like. While we work out the details, we commit to keeping you in the loop, even without a major update to share. We'll post regularly just to reassure you that we're on it. Please know that everyone affected will be made right. We're still finalizing exactly how that will work. We'll share full details with you as soon as we can. We're truly sorry for they have edited this because the specific part in there is not here. So
what part was it?
It was about a discount. And I think
yes.
Yeah, the discount piece is gone. Which is good because I don't think that was the right verbiage anyways. And yeah, apparently people are let me get their name in the Discord, because you know what? If we were a jerk and we want to apologize publicly, we should do it to the person's actual name. Where are you? You're in here somewhere. It was like Bacon something. But I was a proper dick to him because I was just tired of everybody like reading between the friggin' lines. And it's like, guys, I don't care. They said they need more time. Give them more time. Oh yeah, Bacon Milkshake. Bacon Milkshake is the person that I kind of lost it on. And it's like, I was frustrated. That's on me. I will send him a message directly if they're not in the chat. But yeah. I was frustrated because I'm tired of like people reading in between things when they don't. We as Americans and people that aren't
I'm
in the
used
EU,
to reading in between things from American PR releases.
Yes.
But I never do it in European PR releases.
Yes. Like, they said discount. What if the discount was 110%? What if it was now a discount's okay again? Because like they're saying, a discount's not acceptable. You don't know what that discount percentage is. If that discount percentage is 100%, is a discount acceptable? Because all of a sudden the discount sounds acceptable. Reading into things as Americans makes perfect sense. And maybe it's because I have like that personal relationship with the Bondtech people that like, look, if they screw this community, I'm already looking into how much it's going to cost me to get a flight, travel up to Vanama, and I'll go there myself. It's not going to cost, it's going to cost, it's not trivial, right? It's going to cost like $1,500 to $2,000 for me to do this. But if that's what it takes because they're screwing people, I'll show up to the front door and knock on it. I know where it is. But I don't think it's going to come to that, right? I don't think it's going to come to that. I'm glad they edited that response, but of course people have screenshots of it prior. And I think that clarifies things. And removing that shows that they recognize that probably wasn't the best verbiage to put there. But as I've said to the Bondtech peeps, hey, if you need someone to vibe check it, I got you. Right? I got you. Goroka said, I can't get to the front door. That's right. Jacob always shuts the damn door on me.
You're right. It's not my fault. You've got the face of, I just want to shut the door on it.
It's fair. I understand this. I used to be in sales, so I fully understand that.
I need to put like a no soliciting sticker on my door just for you.
Oh, I'm here to solicit the good word of INDEX. Even when you pick it up and hold it and move it on a cart, it still prints perfectly.
I saw that. That was great.
Except when you accidentally pull out the filament from the nozzle.
Yeah, that's a you problem.
That's an absolutely a me problem. I am so surprised it didn't have issues, though. I'm so surprised. But I kind of love the fact that it didn't. That's a 10 out of 10 for me.
It's good. I already know how to solve that in the version we're designing.
Oh, just don't have the spools on the side where you can grab them.
No, we're gonna have a separate push-pull configuration for it.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna do the voxel 3D inbox for mine. As much as it is easier to move it without an inbox, yeah, I want the inbox because it's just easier. So,
Yep.
and like it's gonna look better. Sander developed it, alongside with Prusa on it, so like it matches friggin' dead nuts. It's so good. I got to reach out to Sander to get one because now that we have Index, we can do a live build of the inbox, and like that's the kind of stuff that like I appreciate.
Also, Fazical makes a good point. The wording that is acceptable, discount is not, recompenses, it's basic English. They're not English. I want to point that out. Language barriers still exist. While they are very good at English, there is dozens of examples in short periods of times where European companies, because English is the default language for all of these companies and countries to talk between countries, but that doesn't mean they will choose the right vernacular first time. And it's very easy, especially when English for most of these people isn't even their second language. It could be their third or their fourth language.
Yeah.
Where the word and the emotion that goes with it are two different things. For reading European posts, look at the emotion, not the exact vernacular. So when they say discount, you shouldn't be saying, oh, we're going to take a bit more money from you. The actual feeling is we are going to do a thing to make you right.
Right. Like if that discount was $40 for every nozzle that you spend or that you got with your kit, because that's the price difference between non-hardened and hardened, that's an acceptable thing, right? Like that makes you whole in the book of law. I don't know if that makes you whole in the book of the community, like Wexter here saying, are we still talking about the professional response by some Swedish company? We will not stay quiet. Yeah, right. Yeah, look, as I reached out to them and said, you now have a chance to prove that you can change things, let's actually see that. Let's actually
But
see
I'll also say, no matter what happens, Sweden is still part of the EU. They have to follow European Consumer Rights Act. Even if you're American, you are covered by this because it's from the EU. They are very aware of this. Every European company is. Every UK company is aware of it. It's the first thing that comes to it. Like, America might have the we'll sue you into oblivion mindset.
We do have that mindset.
We don't have that, but we have the if it is unjust, the law gets involved. And that is the thing that Prusa and Bondtech will be well aware of. And Ms. Information and Ms. Marketing is a very protected case in the EU where they have to make it right. And it has to come at almost to zero cost to the consumer to make it right.
Yep.
So again, when they say discount, they could be referencing discount from the original ticket price of the printer, which is an acceptable thing under EU law. It basically means a full refund for the nozzles. A replacement, which is you get new nozzles in the thing that they said.
That is the perfect solution, by the way, because now you have two sets of nozzles. Like, I would say, if anything, that's great. I understand that I don't have any like skin in this game financially, right? But I think I've got a lot more skin in the game of reputation.
Yep.
Right? Like, if I had put my money toward this, yeah, I think I'd be upset, and I am upset because my reputation is on this line. But at the same time, dude, a second set of nozzles is like a 10 out of 10. Like, that's a 10 out of 10. Prusa did the test that we all kind of wanted. Ultra Glow.
Okay.
So Jacob.
Okay. I don't even. All I know from Ultra Glow is it
ruins everything.
It destroys everything. Unless you're using a diamond nozzle, even a ruby nozzle gets destroyed within like a couple of kilos.
We don't actually know if a diamond is like the PCD doesn't wear away yet. These are things that I want to.
It's entirely possible. Strontium nitrate
Illuminate.
is so bloody abrasive.
Yes. It is exceedingly abrasive.
I use glow in the dark filament as a borehole cleaner because it's that abrasive. Like the miso nozzles that we're still developing uses liquid glow in the dark filament that I buy in as PLA, and I melt it down, and we're just pumping it through the holes.
How's that go again? Okay, just checking.
Yeah. To clean the insides of the debris of the SLM process.
Oh, I mean, actually, that's a great idea.
It's literally almost any material bar diamond will be consumed by this. So I'm interested to hear what they've done. I do not have the document open, I should say.
Take a guess. How many grams?
It highly depends on how they're measuring it. If they're rubbing it across the surface.
Just printing it. How many grams of printed Ultra Glow result in a failure?
Versus nitrocarbonization, which I would say 50 grams? 60 grams?
100.
100.
So they're saying...
Nothing. It just eats it. It just eats it immediately.
Like, for those that don't know, Ultra Glow destroys the production extrusion machines. It destroys the dies. And those dies are made of tool steel. Those dies don't get really worn from carbon fiber like PCCF. Doesn't really hurt them. Ultra Glow destroys the extrusions. Or the extrusion dies. And
it's liquid sandpaper.
We,
Actually, no, it's not, because sandpaper isn't as hard as glow-in-the-dark filament.
So, like, we have... So the next time that we are in Prague, I have the golden ticket, which means we can go to the filament lines. I don't know if we'll be able to film, but we will at least be able to go and see it. I'm curious to see what the damaged dies look like. One, because I think it's cool. And two, I'm curious if you can fix them. Like, can you, like, re-weld it and then re-machine it? Like, I don't know how this works.
It's not worth it, but you can.
So, yeah.
But I want to point out to people, using a brass nozzle with Ultra Glow, I got 550 grams through, and a 0.4 nozzle became a 1.1 mil nozzle with only 600-ish grams.
It's like less than 50 grams, you'll see a brass nozzle start to, open up more than a FetLife party. I mean, it's rough. But yeah,
Mike C asks, how many grams would a hardened nozzle handle? Like 2 to 3 spools? Less.
Of Ultra Glow?
Like we're looking at half a wheel to a full wheel.
I don't know.
Hardened nozzles are normally just tool steel.
It depends on what steel. It's like this goes back to like what steel was used. Like what type of steel is it? A2, is it H2, is it D2? Like, what type of tool steel was used? What is the hardening process? And it also comes down to, like, okay, when the nozzle comes to a tip, how much of that tip is the same diameter? Is it like a thin wall, where it's no thicker than my fingers? Or, is it like this where there's a lot of, 0.4 thickness there and it can wear it away? Are you over extruding so that the tip of your nozzle is also sliding across the Ultra Glow? Like, there are so many little nuances for that. And to be clear, I do not have Ultra Glow. I don't have any of that. So I don't have ability to test. But it is over 50% strontium illuminate. That's why it glows like a son of a
regular
bitch.
glow-in-the-dark filament is about 10%.
If that.
Because it's expensive as well.
That's why Ultra Glow's $80 a kilo, I think, or something like that. It's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
For glow-in-the-dark filament,
it's insane.
Expensive.
Here we go. Aussie Design Works. I've blown through a vanadium nozzle in a third of a spool with Fibron CF15.
I don't think you got a real vanadium nozzle.
I don't think that's real vanadium. I thought you were going to say glow-in-the-dark towards the end.
Yeah, that's. I don't think
run
that's real.
Fibron CF15 and we've done 30 kilos before we even inspect them.
Yeah, I've ran at least that through real hardened nozzles. Okay, $82.99 for 800 grams of Ultra Glow.
Yeah, it's spenny.
I also love how people picked up on that joke. They're like, "How does he know?" I'm like, You decide. So yeah, when printing just under 100 grams of super abrasive ultra glow filament, the protective coating appears to wear through. And after that, the performance degrades rapidly, causing wider extrusion lines and reducing print accuracy before making the nozzle completely unusable. This is likely why Prusa didn't pick up on it during their own testing, as while many testers tried abrasive materials, it is with limited quantities and alternating nozzles and with great results. And like, that's something to point out here, right? 5 kilos per nozzle, even if you have a 4 nozzle machine, that's 20 kilos. Yes, you're going to have to rotate where it goes through on the nozzle, but like, that is better than I expected it to be. So like, that tells you that the nitrocarburizing actually does something.
And importantly, they say after printing 5 kilos on several machines, so it's not on one nozzle as well, so 5 kilos across multiple.
Yep.
Still showed great performance with little to no wear. They haven't said what the upper limit for that is.
Yeah,
They've only tested up to 5.
I want to see,
it wouldn't
like,
surprise me if 10 kilos, 15 kilos, 20 kilos is possible.
I want CMM numbers from this. Like, I want to know nozzle diameters from like CMMs or from Keyants, or I want to see it from measured testing equipment, not still looks good from here kind of stuff. Like, anecdotal testing is great when you're in the initial layers of like, oh, okay, this seems to work fine. It's not great when, you know, we're at the proverbial crap smacking a fan going, mock Jesus. We need to have like real numbers. And I think that's important. I know that Prusa has, not only do they have CMMs, but they have X-ray machines, which we actually got to see. Just,
oh, that was so nice.
It was so cool. We have video of
I wanted to stick a camera in there so badly just to see the little speckles, but I did not want to destroy my camera.
Yeah. We were actually, they said, you can put anything in it that you want, but we are not responsible if it breaks. And they said, like, I think it was Stefan of CNC Kitchen put his car remote key in it. And when he got back to his car, it didn't work.
Pro tip, people, don't put things that you require in daily life.
Don't put mission critical stuff
in
like
an
that.
X-ray.
Well, especially one that like X-rays on multi-axis, which is just...
Yeah, because like one X-ray bad, multi-axis is a bajillion X-rays.
Yeah, look.
It's constant because the more it does, the more it can resolve. So it's not like a picture and it's over. It's just blasting that thing.
I'm just going to say it's probably 3.6 Rontgen. Not good, not bad.
Not bad. Completely fine. You'll survive. No worse than a couple X-rays.
You don't know that reference. I'm upset.
I do know the reference. I have also watched the HBO series, which was amazing.
Chernobyl. Yes. Phenomenal series.
So good.
Such a
Absolutely
good series.
Phenomenal. If you side tangent autism,
oh God,
I don't care. People go out and watch it. Not now, watch us. But if you haven't seen the HBO series Chernobyl, go watch it. It's perfect.
I just finished Tulsa King, which is like the exact type of show that I enjoy. Sylvester Stallone, you know, shoot 'em up, mobster, gangster show. Yeah, it was great. But yes, Chernobyl. Chernobyl's a show that I'm watching with Amber, so we haven't gotten through it completely. I think we're like 3 or 4 episodes in. But on just episode 1, I could highly recommend it to people. And yes, I mean, tritium is a beta emitter. Yep. And be careful when buying tritium, kids, because if you buy enough tritium, you trigger ITAR. Don't do that, because tritium can be...
Yeah, don't do that.
Tritium can be,
I found out the hard way.
Refined. Well, so I've always liked a little, like, okay, I think it's pretty clear that I own firearms. I think I've made this pretty clear. Most of, like, the firearms that stay in and around my person all have tritium sights on them. And I'm like, oh, God, I really like the way they glow. So I looked at trying to buy tritium vials. They've never made it through customs. Every time I bought them, they've never made it through customs. They always get seized, and I always get a knock on the door. They're like, what did you buy all these tritium vials for? I'm like, they're cool.
If you want a cheaper
they're cool and they glow.
Have a look at the fiber optic inserts instead.
It doesn't work at night. It's not as cool.
Yeah, it does. You're right. It doesn't work at night, but at the same time, I found a couple of the tritium sites too bright. When like you're waking up and you're like, oh, it just blows your eyes out and you can't actually see what you're aiming at past it because they're too bright.
I think tritium's cool, but yeah, just be careful when you're ordering it. You know, I might be.
Yeah, don't order from overseas. Order within your country.
So here's what's interesting, something that I learned as well. Uranium glass, right? Old school uranium glass. The only country that still makes it, freaking Czech Republic. Czechia.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
we happen to know a glass sculptor, which is pretty awesome, in Prague. So the next time we're planning to go out there, I'm going to like get in touch with him a couple of months early and see if we can somehow get to a factory that produces uranium glass. I understand that that is nothing to do with 3D printing, but how effing cool would that be to be able to film a factory that makes uranium glass?
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
At that point, I would be buying like proper radiation detectors, not the cheap $30 one that I have. Yes, dosimeters. You know, not the cheap, crappy one that I have from Amazon that works enough for finding spicy items in thrift stores, but I think it would be super cool to see it. And like I like to collect radium stuff. I like to collect uranium stuff. In fact, Amber now has like a quasi desk job. Like she has an actual desk. So like I want to have a little like spicy corner of just like, you know, things that glow under UV. It'd be cool. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Cool. It'd be cool. Yeah. I just want to know. I just want to know. I'm not going to lick the paintbrush. Don't worry. That's the Radium Girls. That's
I just have this image in my head now of the best skit to run, which is like a do not enter doorway. And we're just like, oh, it says do not enter. We're going to enter. You open the door and you start walking in and just, it fades to black, but with white noise as it fades. So you open it and you move in and the cut is just pure static. And it's like, and he's dead.
Yeah,
that's it. End of video.
We would definitely not take our really expensive camera gear into that. 100%. No, we're taking GoPros. We're taking old GoPros and old cameras that if the radiation for some reason hurts them, it is what it is. Yeah. Oh, and Printer Prawn is saying, I know Ukraine is the source for a lot of old camera lenses. I wonder if they have a higher background level. Glowing thing scares me. I remember my grandparents' radium clocks and both got cancer. All right, couple of things. I'm going on a tangent now. You triggered me with this. I'm going on a tangent about this. So, first, yes, Ukraine is one of the big sources of the old USSR lenses that are doped with thorium. Yep. I have quite a few of them. Thorium is a naturally occurring radioisotope. It is in the dirt. Like, quite literally, you can go stick a shovel into the ground. Yep. You will pick up enough thorium that if you somehow were able to refine it, you would have a reasonably radioactive source. However, it's radiation that your skin stops. So there's no real concern. Don't eat them or put them like right over an open chest wound and you'll be okay.
Also, Amber can probably correct or like double down on this, but there's a load of medical research that shows you have a safe boundary for radiation where you can double your radiation exposure. It doesn't affect anything. It's only if you go above a certain level does the body become unable to correct itself.
Yep.
So you can be in a triple or even quad background radiation state and you will be fine. It will not affect your long term. It will not give you anything. Like at worst, maybe every 1 in a million you would see one difference.
Don't just irradiate yourself for fun, please and thank you. Don't do it, right? Like, please. I don't know if I could easily grab it. But
when I say that, background radiation is very low. It's insanely low. An X-ray is like 600 times more than background radiation. So when I say like 4 times more background radiation, you're probably right that Ukraine, because of its source to contaminated soil, does have more background radiation, but it will be fine. It will be fine. There will be no difference to daily life ever from that level of radiation.
If you happen to be a photographer, right, you'll know the Helios brand of lenses from the USSR. They're all radioactive, okay? Super Takumar lenses, pretty much all radioactive. If they look even remotely yellow to the naked eye, they're probably doped with thorium. But from the radium thing, clocks with radium in it. Radium does decompose into radon. Yes, that has some level of risk associated with it. But similarly, a lot of older clocks also used leaded glass. So the fact that they use leaded glass is often enough to stop the radiation. And radium, again, is stopped by glass. Like, regular glass stops radium from my understanding. I am not, like, an expert at this, but, like, I have a Ansonia crystal regulator for all you clock people, an Ansonia crystal regulator from the 1950s that the entire dial is painted in radium. Okay, and it glows bright. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful clock. And a crystal regulator means that it is completely open. Like, all sides, brass and glass. It's absolutely beautiful. It is jeweled for those that also like clocks. So it has a ruby escapement.
Yep.
I got it from the local clock shop. It was broken. We fixed it. It was great. It was my desk clock. I ran out of desk space, so it is currently under the desk. But my radiation detector thingy doesn't even detect it until I open the door. When I open the door, yeah, it goes off. But if you don't, it's similar to like asbestos. If you don't touch it and you don't lick it, you don't ingest it, no problems. You're fine. Yes, if you have radon, like if you're up north and you have like radon from the granite and the stone in your area, yes, you don't want that just seeping into your environment. You want to get rid of it. But clocks,
radon is probably the biggest worry because it's actually a problem. And
clocks are not something
even though the radiation output is not an issue, it's where it ends up because it goes into your body.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's when it becomes dangerous.
Just look, don't be stupid. And like the reason the radium girls, like they got sick, they lost their jaws, they lost their teeth because they were licking the paintbrushes. The radium gets into the calcium. That's your blood-brain barrier right there, right? And you're done. Like, you have no chance. As soon as you pass that blood-brain barrier, it's over. Like, with radiation, sorry, homie, you're done.
Like, I'm already a painter. Like, I paint miniatures. I'm already in a bit of trouble because I lick my brushes and I buy heavily pigmented paints. And yes,
don't be stupid.
I do use yellow paint quite a lot. And the yellow paint is the worst paint.
You know, we got 330 people here and only 58 likes. That's
oh, come on.
That's a stupid thing too.
Like the video.
So yeah, we can
or
see
don't like the video, but leave a super chat. That would be cooler.
That's fine.
Definitely cooler. You should do that.
So yes, there's my little, like, I am an amateur horologist. You know,
you are definitely a horologist.
Yes, just there's no W in it. Good sir. Yeah, says the guy that looked like Jeff Goldblum last week. So Prusa is going to be updating the information in their eShop to reflect the current nozzle specification and its suitability for different materials. Per Bondtech, the manufacturing of the index tools nozzles is very difficult at scale. This is also slowing the supply for Prusa. They may not receive enough tools to complete the full first batch by the end of August, but they will ship every conversion kit they can. Now this
just shows how small Bondtech is compared to the demand. They never expected this level of demand.
Nope. And we tried to tell them. We tried so much. So what they are doing at Prusa I'm trying to like make it so it doesn't sound like I'm saying it, like I'm saying Prusa. So saying what Prusa is doing for you as a Prusa customer. Proper hardened nozzles are probably quite far away. Prusa didn't want to sit idly, so regardless of the solution Bondtech ultimately offers, Prusa is adding something on top of that. They will include additional hardware for the initial batch Prusa INDX kit orders at their own expense. And they will be sharing specifics about it in the near future before shipping, and you'll know it when you see it. The technical definition of pornography.
Yep.
As for the hardened steel nozzles, they are waiting for details from Bondtech and cannot provide a reliable availability date or price. Developing, validating, and preparing these nozzles for serial production is expected to take time. All index conversion kits for the Core 1 Plus orders will ship in order based on date and time of that order. So, something to point out there. Yes, you might, if you did order a conversion kit. So I'm assuming those are the Prusa editions, right? Those could be affected by this, right? It depends on when all of this stuff is adjusted, right? So you might get lucky and you get the new stuff. You might not get lucky and you get the old stuff. Prusa appears they're going to be as like open and honest as humanly possible. And again, this is a supreme level of communication. I love seeing this level of communication. This is what we really need. And quite frankly, Prusa, I would just try to tell Bondtech, hey, tell us what's going on. We'll write the press releases for you, and you guys just use them. Dude, that would be fine too, right? That would be totally acceptable. Dane, aka Doug, Dreams Void, says generative machines, 5-axis made from uranium glass. I mean, that would be cool, but it would be incredibly fragile. Yes, so return and refund option. It goes without saying that you can, of course, cancel your order anytime before the shipment and receive a full refund. As mentioned in the beginning, shipping is being postponed to mid-August, giving users additional time to review the information and decide whether you would like to keep or change your order. And even after delivery, you are still covered by Prusa's extended 60-day return policy. So if you don't, if you want to roll the dice and you're not happy with how everything ends up, you'll have 60 days from the date, I assume the date that it's delivered. I don't know if it's the date that it's shipped with Prusa or the date that it's delivered, to determine that. And something tells me that Prusa's not gonna, be a pain about a day or two.
For legal, it will always be on receipt of delivery.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can end up in a situation where they can ship it, intentionally delay the shipment, and then it arrives and you have 2 days to return.
That's fair.
Again, Consumer Rights Act. Companies aren't allowed to pull that shit, so they don't.
That's fair. And so, firmware and hardware improvements. So, Prusa did release a new firmware. Guess who hasn't updated it?
You. That guy. No, that guy.
Okay, to be fair, I just, 2 days before taking my INDX on a road trip, I changed out all of its tools from the 3 orange and the 5 black to all orange. I think it just looks better. Regardless of the issue of why I had to do it in the first place, the orange just looks better. And Prusa, if you're listening, start printing them in orange. They just look better in orange. They look cool. And if you do what one of the, I think it was a Japanese user did, and you print the exterior covers for INDX that are just replaceable out of Ultra Glow, and you exchange all of the LEDs in the machine for UV LEDs, you will have the fluorescing orange plus the Ultra Glow. And I'm just saying, that would look dope. That would look dope. And pro level 3D print, if you also have some of the tungsten and you have Ultra Glow, Prusa did this, and I think it's amazing. Make a Demon Core. You print the outsides of the Demon Core with the tungsten filament, so it's heavy like a Demon Core would have been, and then the inside sphere is Ultra Glow. That is a 10 out of 10 3D print, and has so much really, really awesome lore behind it, and how that could have actually done something. So cool. And bonus nachos if you also have a screwdriver near it. And so extra turbo geeks will understand. The Demon Core. Oh, here's Nomad's Galaxy saying the Demon Core was his idea.
Yeah,
well,
sure.
Damn good idea. You should get a raise for it. All right. So the new changes, right? They posted a blog article about it, but the recap is massive print quality improvement, improved nozzle cleaning process, support for large external waste bin, faster calibrations, overall reliability, and stability improvements. I know that a lot of people have had issues with theirs. Dude, mine has been... You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I've got a worker who's just appeared at the factory and the gate's closed, so I'm calling the gate to open it.
Got it.
And it's opening. There we go.
So I have had... God, I gotta find all this dead tree carcasses to knock on right now. I've had such good success. Even breaking, like taking the tools off of it, putting it into my 2-seat Honda, which Nomad's Galaxy has ridden in before, driving it down a dirt road, over speed bumps to the local high school, setting it up, putting everything in, and then running 2 prints on it. We ran the butterfly test print and the herringbone gear test print. While I know the herringbone gear test print did technically fail, that is on me 100%. The way that it failed, there's no way the machine could have done that itself. There just isn't a way that it could have been done. So mine has worked incredibly well. I don't know what I'm doing different from others, but there's 20 hours worth of live streams where you can find out, right?
Yep.
But yeah, mine has worked really, really well. The external waste bin came up a couple of times in there. I gotta see if Mikolas replied in this one. I don't know. Anyways, Mikolas said that they're going to be releasing a new side panel that people will be able to purchase with a bigger hole in it that will enable a external waste bin. And then someone had said, well, what if we just have the current one and we don't want to buy the new one? He said, well, you could use one of those step bits. And of course, the only response when someone talks about using a step bit is, what are you doing, stepper bit? Or what are you doing, step drill bit, right? That's the only reply. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful that I got to be the person that was making that reply. That is exactly what I will do. I will just open up that hole more. I don't care. I guess the issue right now is beyond like 3,000 poops of the machine, you start to fill up the bin. Which is odd. I have not seen that yet. But my next big print, like now that the index is back in the shop, in fact, I think I'm going to set it up here on the side of my desk. I know that the stream can't see it, but I think I'm going to put the index here. So I don't really have space for it else in the shop, and I don't want it to live in the garage. I want it to live in here. So I don't know. I have to determine what I'm going to do with it. But I want to do the big index head next. That's like 3,000 tool changes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have any issues with it throwing the little poops outside of the build. Every now and then it will happen, but like, it's not that big of a deal to me, right? It doesn't get in the way, so I'm not too worried about it, you know? So yeah, I would say that like Prusa's response to Bondtech's response to Bondtech's response to Bondtech's response could not be better, right?
You know what? I'm happy with it. I think
I'm so happy with it.
I think this communication is what everybody should have got from the start, but it just solidifies what I've already thought of, which was they're going to make it right. They have to make it right. They're going to make it right, and it's going to take a bit of time.
Yeah.
But they're going to make it right. And this is great.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Like, let's be real here, right? How many years has Prusa worked with E3D to make nozzles? It's at least a decade.
Oh, easily.
It's at least
a decade.
So, like, yeah, I can totally understand that after 10 plus years, your testing protocol for nozzles has gone down. And I'm not going to fault Prusa for that. yes, it's complacency and like this is where it bites you, and they should have brought back that testing methodology, but I totally get why they didn't, right? Like they've worked with Bondtech as well for many years, right? The Mark III extruder gears are all Bondtechs, right? They've worked with Bondtech for a long time.
Yeah.
I think this is, unfortunately, companies over-promising and under-delivering. I mean, I understand that people are upset about the pricing changes. If you're upset about the pricing changes, get out and vote if you're American. The pricing changes are 100%, to my understanding, due to increase in raw material costs globally.
Yep.
Like,
and I'm gonna say, even from like my side, cost of doing anything is going
ballooned
up faster.
Yeah.
And a lot of companies, including our own, we are just taking the hit on the margins up until the point where we can't.
I am.
Because otherwise we'll be putting our prices up every 2 weeks at the moment.
If not more often. It feels like every Friday I should raise my prices and every Monday I should lower them. And that definitely isn't market manipulation.
This is a great question for the viewers. Would you rather have a live price updating product based on the day when you order its material value? Where you could wait a week and the price goes down by 5%, or you could wait 2 weeks and because of Trump it goes up by 15%. Would you prefer that? Or would you just want us to keep it as stable as possible until we're forced to raise prices?
So you either get stability or you get poly market, but for hardware.
Yes.
I'll take stability, thanks.
Yeah, I'd take stability too. Yeah. But I thought it would be an interesting question for people.
No, I'll take stability every day of the week. I'm sure there's like some person who's addicted to gambling, and please go get help. 1-888-ADMIT-IT, I think, is what it is. If you are the person that says, well, I'll roll the dice, you might have a problem. Just saying, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life, but yeah. So that's an issue. And my understanding is that if all the tariffs and BS go away, that the price will settle back down. I just love how people are just pissed at Bondtech for raising the price and Prusa for raising the price when it's like, dude, it's not their fault. Like, okay, could some of it be their fault? Sure, some of it could be. And I'll give maybe 5 to 10% of that price increase of being the company's fault. The rest of it is going to be geopolitical issues that the two companies involved have no control over. It's not their thing. And I would continually tell people, if you don't like what's going on in the world, get out and vote.
Yeah.
Those of you who are American.
Lord Skippy just put into, as a super chat, $5. Thank you very much. Prusa response glanced over a consumer right, which is the people who decide not to cancel their order are entitled to compensation by Prusa, not Bondtech, and they are 100% right. It's not who supplied the printers. It's who you bought it from.
Where the money went.
And the money went to Prusa. It's Prusa's responsibility to fix everything.
Yep.
Yes, Bondtech have been taking the brunt of communication because it's their technology. But at the end of the day, the buck falls on Prusa. And that's just the legal chain of events. If you buy something from your local shop and it's not right, you don't go to Nestle and say you've drained the entire Amazon again to try and build something. You blame the shop. The shop is the person who supplied it to you. The shop is the one that has to fix it. And it is the same anywhere you go. Just because we know who the supplier is and we have direct communication with them doesn't actually mean any of this is actually a Bondtech fault in the eyes of the law. In the eyes of the law, all of the fault is solely on Prusa because they are the seller and manufacturer of every component. And I have to stress, the manufacturer of the hot ends for the Bondtech INDX system in a Prusa Core 1 is Prusa by law. Even though it's a bought-in component, white labeling, even if you keep the same name, as the manufacturer, in this case Bondtech, it's actually a Prusa hot end because the law hands it over to the manufacturer of the whole machine. Just so people are fully aware with EU law, everything is a Prusa controlled item in this scenario.
Unless you bought a dev kit from Bondtech.
Yeah, if you bought it from Bondtech and your money went to Bondtech, it's a Bondtech printer.
It's who took your credit card number.
Printer.
Whoever took your credit card number, they're the one that ultimately has to make it right.
Yeah. And the only time when it's different is resale, because they're not claiming it as theirs.
Yep.
But in this case, it's got Prusa's logo on it. It's a Prusa problem, unless it was specifically 100% manufactured by Bondtech. And even then, there's still quibbles that it's still a Prusa problem because it's got their logo on it.
And you have to remember, the founders all went through Bondtech. We know this because we crashed their site.
Yes.
So the founders editions are Bondtech. The Prusa editions are going to be Prusa. The dev kits are going to be Prusa. So, and look, I get that, Prusa, it glanced over the consumer rights. It's not Prusa, that is not Prusa's responsibility in my mind, right? Like the same way it's not Bamboo's responsibility to alert you of your rights when they screw up. It's not their job. It is your job to know what your rights are. The only time that is different. Oh, yes. So the only time that is different is here in the United States when you are being questioned by police. They are required to read you Miranda, which is the Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you at no cost. Should you can exercise this right at any time to stop talking to us. That is the one time that I am aware of where you must be alerted of your rights. Otherwise, it is your responsibility to know, when does your Fourth Amendment right kick in, right? For unlawful searches and seizures. When does a cop talking to you in a way that they're talking to you potentially have an issue with your unlawful searches and seizures, right? If you have a cop come to your door that wants to talk to you and you open your door and they stick their foot in the door, so when you close it, you can't close the door anymore. That's a Fourth Amendment violation. They're letting themselves in. It's like there becomes a certain thing, and you are responsible, right? And as Reth says, don't talk to police. Exactly. It's not that all cops are bad. I don't think they are. I've met quite a few good cops in my day. I've met quite a few bad cops in my day. But you gain nothing by talking to them. You only lose. You only lose. Just saying. Shut the F up. Simple. So, Prusa's response, I think, is perfect. Right? I think Prusa's response is perfect.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's good communication with a good outline, and they've done something that they didn't need to do, which is go above and beyond and provide something for free.
What is that something?
Nice.
I don't know. Oh, by the way, speaking of prices going up, go look at the price of the tungsten filament right now. If it's even on the site. Last I saw, it was like call for quote.
1 kilo tungsten filament out of stock, get price quote.
Yep. Yeah.
100 grams is £100.
Yes. So tungsten metal powder.
So it's £1,000. Not weight. $1,300.
Yeah.
$1,300 for a kilo.
And a kilo is like, in terms of distance, like 300 grams of PLA.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying there are some... Yeah, the cost of tungsten has gone up. So Lord Skippy is saying, but Prusa should have told customers that they are allowed to keep the order and entitled to a fix by law, especially since Prusa can forward the damages to Bondtech. Again, that's not Prusa's job. I'm sorry. Prusa did clearly say, and I'll read it again. It goes without saying, and I'm going to read it verbatim. So this is coming from Tommy from Prusa. I'm going to read it verbatim exactly how they have it. It goes without saying that you can, of course, cancel your order anytime before the shipment and receive a full refund. As mentioned in the beginning, shipping has been postponed to mid-August, giving you additional time to review this information and decide whether you would like to keep or change your order. And even after delivery, you are still covered by our extended 60-day return policy. They are telling you that you have options. They're not telling you what those options are other than you can keep it or you can refund it. That's it. That's it. Because as far as Prusa's concerned, there isn't a solution yet because Prusa doesn't manufacture the nozzles. They can't have a solution. The only way that Prusa can manufacture a solution here is by bringing in an outside company, whether that is E3D or Diamondback, which both have stated they're working on something. E3D publicly, I think Diamondback has stated something in emails to people that have been posted, but E3D has posted publicly on Twitter that they are working on INDEX nozzles. And again, I still think that's the best move. I understand that it is a financial, just absolute nightmare for Bondtech, but it's the quickest solution that gets them out of hot water. And I think that while it is a financial disaster for them, I think it buys good faith, which right now is kind of the thing they need. They've lost a lot of good faith in the community. And yeah, I think anything, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Anything other than a full set of hardened nozzles completely for free, or the difference in those hardened nozzles back to the consumer, right? The non-hardened versus hardened back to the consumer that bought it is unacceptable. And I think if they offer anything other than that, and look, they could do something that's better, right? So if it is worse than those two options, I think it is totally fair to get mad at them. I do. But I think if they provide exactly that or better, they have met and exceeded expectations for what we would expect as Americans from a company. Now, I understand that that is their legal requirement in the EU, but I think it's fair to say that over 50% of the consumers for this are not in the EU, in the UK.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Like, this is a global product.
Yeah.
And as much as I hate to say it, Europe doesn't have a lot of money at the moment. Most of the world doesn't have a lot of money at the moment.
There's like 10
America,
people that have a lot of wealth, but that's it.
Like, America does have the most wealth. Even in its poverty, you have more wealth than we have, because...
I mean, California is the fifth largest economy in the world.
Well, you guys have something that boggles European minds, and that's you can just choose not to have healthcare.
No.
Our healthcare is subsidized, so our wages are lower. So you could choose to have the equivalent wage of somebody highly skilled in the UK. The downside is you just don't have healthcare, so you can still live a good life as long as you're healthy.
But my freedoms.
Like, as long as you're healthy, you can live quite well with a disposable income, whereas in the EU, you don't get that. So cost of living is just higher.
But apparently they get the entire month of July off.
Yeah, that's a protected thing. Don't know what you're talking about.
But that is so unheard of in America. Like, Amber's been working at her job since, like, middle of March, I think. I don't know. She got her job, like, in Q1. She has only accrued 4 days of time off. That's it.
See, I'm going to take my lower pay every day and my healthcare every day. It just means I have to save a bit more when I want to buy stuff. Whereas it boggles my mind that you could just be like, I don't want to pay for healthcare for a month or so.
Well, it's
or
not
like
that I don't
year,
want
and then
to
just
pay.
have extra money and hope you don't die.
Right. It's you're playing poly market with your health.
Yes.
Right?
And I do not like that.
I mean, here's Mad Cat. He said he gets 10 hours of PTO every 2 weeks. And I would assume that a work day for him is between 8 and 10 hours. So he gets 1 day every 2 weeks, which is actually pretty decent. I would say that's actually very good. Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Again, this is just a tough time for all of this to happen. And I think, again, a little bit of PR training would have solved a lot of this. Oh, okay, he's in a union. That's why. He's in a union. The unions have negotiated, better time off. Yeah, because, like, dude, that means every month you get 2 days. So if every month you get 2 days, that means every year you get 24 days. Yeah, I mean, so you almost do have, you basically do have an entire month off.
Yeah.
Oh, and holidays come out of their PTO time. Well, unless it's like an official holiday. It depends. Like, Mad Cat works in the medical field similar to Amber. So, like, they don't get, like, Thanksgiving and Christmas and that kind of stuff off. They don't get it off because the hospital doesn't just close because it's Christmas. People still get hurt, okay? 4th of July, you have extra people there because you're going to need trauma. You're going to need a lot of trauma from idiots blowing up their hands. But, yeah, I think Sweden's one of the most beautiful countries we've been to. I think it's the time of year. China was beautiful. China was absolutely beautiful, but we were also in, like, the touristy side of Shanghai. When we went outside of it, it's like, oh, this is very different.
It was.
It was
still very pretty. I've got to admit,
pretty,
it was gorgeous.
Yes, the wealth line was very obvious, right? When you went from, like, generational wealth to generational debt. But again, that's how it is in a lot of areas, right? The proverbial don't go on the wrong side of the train tracks here in America, right? It's very similar, right? But the countryside of China was beautiful. The countryside of Sweden was gorgeous. And I'm hoping at some point to get out.
Colgate.
No. I'm hoping at some point to get out to Prusa when it's not cold. And so we can see what Prague looks like in the spring and the summer.
Yeah.
Right?
I would love to do that.
Just so I can see, like, yeah, it's very, like, when we go out there in, like, November after Formnext, it's very gray. But I dig the gray. The gray is a nice vibe. However, I can understand why people get the seasonal affective disorder, where you get depressed in the winter.
Yeah.
I'm just depressed all the time because going outside is not good for your health here in Florida. MLV says Prague is very hot. I live in Florida. It is raining outside, and it is 32 Celsius, okay? Just saying. Yes, I will need air conditioning. I'm well aware of this, but boss, Florida, okay? GP3 Design said, would you ever do a tour of Rat Rig? South of Portugal seems like it would be wonderful. Hell yeah, dude. If they ever want to have us out, I would love to go out. Also, GP3 Designs, I definitely tagged you in our Discord. I need your help on something. Yeah, I don't think you've seen it yet. But yeah, boss man. Also, Jacob, for reference, Lutter in our Discord has made a wonderful GIF of you earlier. I think you will enjoy it. Go check out the Making Awesome podcast channel. And if you do want...
I've got to see that now.
If you do want to see more behind the scenes stuff and come hang out with myself and some of the other 3D Musketeers crew, Jacob sometimes...
Yes, I love
when
that.
he's got time, you can join at the $10 tier and higher. Yes, our Discord is pay-gated. Members of the Discord firmly understand why. It's very business-oriented. And if you're trying to make money with 3D printing...
No, it's not just business oriented. There's sections for that.
That's fair.
And the feedback you get is gorgeous, but there's also it's the community that's there wants to be there.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest difference. If it was an open community that anyone can join, you end up with a lot of dross. You can get a lot of people that are just spamming or they don't get the vibe of the room. because it's pay gated, the quality of every interaction is insanely high, and I do highly recommend it if you've got the money, because it's not a lot of money. It's probably the best. It's $10 or higher, isn't it?
Yep.
Or is it $5? $10. $10. Don't buy 3 coffees. I don't know how expensive coffee is in America. In the UK, they're like £4.50 now.
Yeah, that's about right.
Minimum.
So it's 2 coffees, not 3.
Yeah, don't buy 2 coffees and get access to some of the highest quality, not just content, but community and advice avenues that you could get.
And you get to see me be pissed off at my lawnmower more often.
Look, I very much want to take the electric lawnmower I killed, because now we got the petrol one. I want to take the electric one. I want to rip out its motor and strap in one of my electric longboard motors that can do up to 6 kilowatts, and see what RPM I can get out of that before I'm going to lose my ankles to one of the blades snapping through.
Duff says LS swap it. Duff, I'm legitimately getting to that point. I need at least 20 horsepower. So 6 kilowatts is not even close. I need at least 20 horsepower. Yeah, I had to pull the whole motor apart again. So fun times. You know what? I will do my best. I don't know how easily I can commit to it, but I will do my best to stream the entire build and the entire working of my mower onto Discord. I'll find a way to do it. TDI swap it. Oh, that'd be so awesome. Turn it into a diesel. Randy Parker with the $10. Quality community and lawnmowers. Thank you. Maybe your lawnmower, mine is anything far from quality. Pro tip for those that, whatever, don't buy a Kohler motor. Just don't. I've had nothing but trouble with it. Just nothing but effing trouble. At some point, I'm going to start open carrying around the lawnmower so it knows I'm serious. Okay? That's where we're getting. 12-valve Cummins? Hell yeah. Rolling coal on the grass. Yeah, my grass is knee-high on me.
Okay.
I can almost lose Amber in the grass right now.
Okay. Yep.
I'm just going to get like a Gixxer motor. Just like 1,000cc, sport bike motor that'll rev to 12,000 RPM, just on the friggin' chip, mowing grass at 90 mile an hour. That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Nomad's Galaxy says he got lost in the bush. I'm told you like that though. Grant, just buy a Honda lawnmower. It just works. Look, man. Honestly, if I had $3,000 to $5,000 to spend right now, I would have already blown up this mower. If there is a robotic lawnmower company that is out there, and someone just posted something in the Discord about it, from a YouTuber that took back their vineyard with a robotic lawnmower, I would quite literally load the engine full of tannerite or thermite, whichever one you want, and we will destroy it. If you do thermite, we will turn it on and we will melt the thermite through the motor.
Amazing.
If you do tannerite, I probably can't do that because as soon as we turn it on, it would likely ignite the tannerite.
Oh, no, you can. You got your pull cord, right?
No, it's electric.
It's
a 2-cylinder.
I was going to say, no, that's even better. That's even better. Just take the starter wire and just crimp on 2 really long wires so you can get behind your bunker, which is definitely not your car, and then...
I don't have another car. It's going to be a tree. I'm going to stand behind a tree. Thermite, then tannerite. Sure. You know what? If it's a good enough robotic lawnmower, I'll do both. Fine.
Oh, no. Grand Custard 3D, Jacob should put his motor from the Leaf into his mower. I kind of want to do that. I know how to get the ECUs for that really easily, because they're just Leafs. One of them was sold for £260, including the car. I could get an 80 kilowatt motor with all the working components minus like probably a functional battery.
I mean, at that point, why wouldn't I just put the blades on the car?
Less funny.
That's way more funny.
No, just imagine like this really small, rickety, four-wheeled frame, this massive 80 kilowatt motor. Actually, you know what? You could plug it in. Make it a plug-in hybrid.
Do you know
Plug
how...
it into your...
Dude, I need
Oh,
like
no,
a
I keep forgetting
300-foot
American-
extension cord.
I also keep forgetting that Americans use 110 volts, so you can't put in insane amount of kilowatts
I also have 2
into a
acres of
motor
land.
from your three-phase.
I also have 2 acres of land. Yes, Nomad's guy says I have the Mustmobile. I guess my car smells a little like musty
Oh,
because it got wet at
stupid
one
idea.
point, but it's dry. It's just humid in Florida.
How about this? No motor at all, but a really big flywheel that you get up to speed, and then you just use the flywheel energy
There is nothing
for the entire time.
There's nothing safe about that.
Well, you only spin it at like 850 miles an hour.
I'm good. Thanks though.
And you can put the weight as far out as possible so
totally
you get
good.
the most energy.
I'm
As long as you don't break the sound barrier with the spinning, you'll be fine.
Nomad says a little my guy smelled multiple organisms growing in there. It's not, I don't know. That one still kind of hurts a little bit. Like it still stings to this day. I'm like, I get my car, I'm like, it smells like a 24-year-old car with leather seats. Like it had one leak in it once and I dried all that up. Like I have multiple levels of dehumidification in that car. It's dry. It's just Florida. It's 24 years living in Florida. I don't know, man. I just work here. All right. It still runs. It runs well. I was going to 3D print a part for that car. And then I found that I can buy the part for $7. It was going to require a full reverse engineer, fixing of broken pieces. Yeah, that shifter button, Nomad, it's $7. I should have looked it up earlier. It will arrive on Monday, and I will install it on Monday. It's Florida dry, still has its own ecology. Well, some people are into that, I guess. I don't know. You need to run an ionizer to remove the stank. I did. It doesn't smell. Whatever. I will get another ozone generator and I will put ozone into it because it's just
you need
for
a lot of ozone. How long did you leave the ozone generator going?
3 days.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I don't think you got a stank problem. I think you got a dead creature problem.
No. I know that smell. I just think it's an old car in Florida. It has a smell.
Have you run a dehumidifier in it yet?
Yes, it has one in it.
What do you mean it has one in it?
I have a rechargeable desiccant. It's designed for gun safes.
No, look. They don't absorb anywhere near the amount of moisture you need for a car. You need you can rent one or you could buy one for like $80, I think. You can get a big plug-in water-based dehumidifier.
I have a lot.
And you'll probably need to run it 2 or 3 times because the foam just collects it. And it's closed cell foam in the older cars as well, which was the stupidest idea they made because when it gets moisture in from age, it becomes a bitch to dry out. But when I got my Leaf, because they left in a car park in Nottingham for 2 years, I put my dehumidifier in there and I filled it up 3 times before the seats were like dry.
I'm gonna fix it and I'm gonna force Nomad to fly down here and sit in my damn car and tell me that I fixed it.
Worth it.
Look, it's not the prettiest thing on the planet, but it runs and it runs well. And school's back in session in 2 weeks, which means I get another access to a hoist again. So we're gonna do it. I will jar some air from my car and send it to him. One of them I'll fill with a fart. I'll send him like 3 jars, and one of them will be just pure ass. Cat. Which cat is this?
Cat. This is Molly.
Molly. Okay.
She is adorable and gets scared very easy.
That's a cat thing. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on this whole Prusa response? I think it's perfect.
I think it's perfect.
From an American, I'm very happy with this.
From a European, I expected this. I don't feel happy about this. I was more waiting for this to drop.
Yeah.
Because this is a very cookie cutter response for a company who cares about their customers and knows what is a requirement in the law. And the neat thing about consumer credit is it's there for when companies hate you, and Prusa doesn't hate you. They love their customers, so they do this anyway. So you've got this double whammy of they want to do right, and they've written about it, and they're going to do it right. And I'd say from Bondtech's side, they're going to make it right, and they want to do right, because I've spoken with them. They want to make everything right. It's just that type of people. They are lovely people. But their communication needed work.
I'm getting checked in the Bondtech Discord right now. I have to read something. Apparently it still exists in their longer publication that they put on their own website. So let me find it. Actually, I can just do this. I can just Control F.
Control F. Discount. Hey.
Oh, I accidentally bookmarked it. That's not what I wanted. I want to Control F for discount. Yeah, it's there. Okay, cool. We want to be honest with you. Right now, we don't have, and this is from Bondtech. We want to be honest with you. Right now, we don't have a concrete solution ready. We won't promise dates or pricing that we can't back up. We will share more information once we've run at least initial tests and calculate production feasibility and capacity. We want compensation to be fair for you and manageable for us. Offering you a % discount on hardened nozzles without knowing their production cost could be misleading. Hardened nozzles will likely be more expensive than standard nozzles.
Yeah, I'm doing my internal filtering. I'm pulling from my different lexicons. That also doesn't sound bad, but I can see why people would not be happy with it. Like, they've said they are making a solution. They don't want to just give you a discount and this because they're not sure. I don't see a problem with that response, but I can see how it could be misinterpreted.
Oh, yeah. And
this is a cookie cutter, we're working on it response.
Like, and again, like, if the discount's 100%, great. If the discount's 50%, the exact, like, what's going on in that Discord right now where they're like, you know, Bondtech's expecting us to, you know, dig them out of the hole they got themselves in is a completely and legitimately valid thing to be upset about. 100%. I would 100% validate you if Bondtech says, oh,
no,
yeah.
I take it back. No, I don't think it is because it's not a Bondtech problem. It's a Prusa problem.
Founders, it's not. It's a Bondtech problem.
It's still a Prusa problem.
Why?
Depending on how it's played out, even though it was bought through Bondtech's website, it's still a Prusa printer. And the certification process would have come from Prusa to make that machine safe to sell. Therefore, it's a Prusa problem, not a Bondtech problem. Bondtech would not have done whole machinery directive or EMC directive or all of this because that's a Prusa responsibility because it's their product, which means Bondtech are just the reseller. Yes, they are also a component supplier, but they are just a reseller, meaning the actual ownership of the problem is again back on Prusa, even though Bondtech will probably be the ones that will handle the refund, return, and repair process because they're the vendor. And this actually could be why there's this mismatch in communication with them saying a discount, because you can buy INDEX nozzles from Bondtech as well. And if you can buy INDEX nozzles from Bondtech when the actual ownership is on Prusa, they don't legally have to give you a discount. So they could be going out of their way to provide an extra discount service if you buy from them versus fixing the problem with Prusa.
Like, I recognize that this statement, if you take the statement of offering you a % discount on hardened nozzles without knowing their production costs could be misleading. If you take that statement for precisely face value, yeah, it makes perfect sense because they don't know what it's going to cost. So saying you can have it for 100% off doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
If it's...
And again, it comes down to that. There's two bits in that sentence that are really interesting. It's the, they don't know what it's going to cost, so they're not going to say anything.
Right.
Which everybody's saying they're not realizing. And then there's the, we will offer a discount bit. Well, if you think about the ownership of control, Bondtech don't have to offer a discount on new nozzles at all. Because a discount is buying additional. Consumer right means they have to replace or refund the misrepresented items either way. They cannot get around that. So replace and refund are always on the table.
Right.
Discount is a very separate entity. Discount could be if you bought the printer and these are still going to happen, your future orders will be discounted. This could be you get your thing fixed by Prusa, but you buy your new nozzles from us direct, you get your discount. So depending on how the legal entity system is working, that discount could be their version of we want to make something better for you, that you get in-store credit after we fix the issue.
One might say that that solution could come out to be a bit of a shocker. Never mind. That's exactly what you had up, Jacob. Jesus Christ.
I know.
Yeah, like, if they say, yeah, we're going to fix it completely, we're going to give you a new set of nozzles. Oh, and by the way, we're going to cut you a discount on you know, up to X amount of future nozzles that you'd like to order hardened, you know, as a gesture of good faith. Buddy, that is going above the bare minimum that we expect and saying that's great. I think that's a win. I think that's a great win. And Scientific Glassblowing says, I think they mean rebate. Sure, that could absolutely be a...
Rebate is a better word.
You know, a % refund on hardened nozzles. Like, there... Is the wording perfect? No. Was this likely written in Swedish and then translated to English? Probably. Is that going to result in some potential issues? Sure. Do I think that they are malicious? No. And in the event that we see that Bondtech is acting maliciously, and I've got enough evidence to state that they are, I will get on a plane and go out to Vanama myself.
Yep. Alan Kilgore has put a very good example in the chat, which is, so quick question for Jacob. I have a C1 Founders Edition kit. It has either a bad cable or a bad puppy board. Chatted with Prusa support, and they sent me back to Bondtech, who is responsible. Bondtech is responsible because they were the vendor, and you always go to the vendor to solve your problems. Yes, that's for you, Percy. Because you bought your printer from Bondtech, support requests go to Bondtech.
Dude.
And that is this this weird mismatch, because Bondtech is supposed to then go back to Prusa to get their solution. And because they're the vendor, supply it to you.
Go check the link I just put in our notes. There is already a clone from China of INDEX.
You're kidding, right?
I'm not. Click the link, baby.
It's opening Discord.
Yes, yeah, it's a Discord link.
Oh,
sorry.
I'm logged in. Why is it asking me to log in again?
All right, hold on. I'll copy the image and I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you via DM.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just surprised it didn't do it. Log in with QR.
Okay. Well, nonetheless, yeah, it's got a surround around the coil. The coil's fully potted. It uses a different holding mechanism. It looks like it uses some ball bearings. And it looks like their fan could be better than what Bondtech is using. God bless, that's fast. I mean, so what? Index has been in the world as shippable units for what? 3 weeks? No, at least a month. At least a couple of months.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this looks, I hate to say it, this looks
Kind of
better.
looks better. Kind of looks better. Not gonna lie. Kind of
But
looks better.
it depends on the linkage system, because China's very good at cloning and making things look neater. We can't see behind for the linkage system, and I'd want to see that. But in terms of how they've done it, that is really nice. Now remember, anyone from Bondtech watching, because it's a clone of your technology, you can steal it. Stealing is okay.
Well,
if they have decided to break your patents, which they have 100% done in this,
you can also just sue the crap
learn
out
from
of them.
it.
Right.
It depends. Suing is like not always the best thing in Europe because you have to prove financial loss. You have to prove impact in the market. And depending on where your patents are located, it depends on if you can prove they sold it legitimately into those countries.
I would
and
assume...
also, you can do this thing where you let them sell for a year, then you sue them and you claim the profit from that, but you have to prove the amount. Legal issues to one side, I would definitely rip this to shreds, layer by layer, slice by slice, put it under a CT and see what they've done differently. Because what China's great at is simplifying. And you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing a kinematic mount on it.
I want to see, the mount's different. Yeah, with the 3 ball bearings. Yeah, the mount's different. I want to see Luma. I want to get one, and I want to send a real one and this one to Lumafield, and have Lumafield 3D CT it for us. How cool would that be? Lumafield's been doing this whole like series on real products versus fakes, and they did one on 18650 batteries. Jacob, I don't know if you saw this, but like looking at clone 18650s versus real 18650, it was super friggin' cool. Like, super friggin' cool.
Also, I like what these guys have done is the little plastic shield around the coils.
Yep.
And before anyone asks, yes, Construct's version of Index will have a plastic shield around the coils either way.
It looks so cool without it, but I can totally understand, you know.
Oh, I'm doing a clear shield. I'm going to be getting a peak alternative resin that is see-through. So you can still see the lovely internals, but it just protects it.
And when you put side by side, so I'm looking at their Discord right now, when you put the side by side of Bondtech's versus the clone, yeah, the clone does happen to have some higher quality stuff. The clone's gotten bigger chamfers.
That does not necessarily mean higher quality, I must point out. Does make it look prettier though.
Yeah.
But also, the Index uses stainless steel for most of its linkages. This looks like aluminium. The surface marking looks like anodized aluminium.
I know why this happened so fast. The CAD leaked. Remember? You remember this? I said we wouldn't talk about it, but I guess it kind of makes sense to talk about it.
I mean, in this case, one of my NDA clauses is nil void because it's now public domain.
MLB wants me to show the picture in the Discord. Yeah, I'll put it in the Making Awesome podcast
Even
channel.
I, as an integrator, I couldn't get full CAD for Index. I only had tertiary level CAD for Index, enough for mounting points, some internals, and some fan ducts. Because an integrator doesn't need to know every gear, every pin, every bolt location.
So, all right.
So when did the CAD leak?
Leaked by Prusa, actually.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. The
oh no.
The 3MF of the Index print, right? That really cool like multicolored Index print that they had up for a while. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Don't
CAD,
tell me that was the actual CAD.
it was poorly obfuscated.
I know
And,
somebody's had like a reversed engineered GitHub for it, which I have downloaded immediately, I should say. Like the moment that came out, I downloaded it. But like Prusa, why?
I don't know.
Were you just like gloating over that
Well,
you've got the CAD?
Okay, real quick. The person who posted the pictures didn't know the CAD existed. Oh, okay, it's their project. All right, so we actually know who cloned it. They cloned it from photos.
Really? That's insane. That is insane.
Holy shnikes.
So they did all of that from just photos.
I guess so.
And I've just seen their comment in China, this speed is considered slow. And I'd actually agree. This speed is slow for big company China, but this is one guy.
I should point out this person is also in the Voron Discord. The only two Discords that I share with them are Bondtech and Voron.
This is amazingly impressive. And honestly, your tag makes it hard to determine if it's or You're amazing. This is impressive work,
dude,
and you should be proud of it.
Give credit where it's due, because, yeah, that looks beautiful. Does it work? I don't know, but damn.
Oh no, I'd assume it works. Just by looking at
it looks good.
The pictures alone, they've been able to simplify a lot. They've gone to aluminium over steel, which again is probably a smart idea. A lot of INDEX's internals are steel plate, and they're fiber cut steel plate, which again is a smart decision. It's hard wearing, it's easy to work with, it's relatively easy to source. But this is... Also, I will probably say that the INDEX official kinematic system is probably a bit more robust than the ball bearing kinematic system, but only just. Like, we're micro analyzing. And yeah, for Lucid, yeah, it's inductively heated as well. Yeah, this is great.
I mean, it's impressive. Like, credit where it's due. That is impressive. And yes, copying, like, so and when we landed in China, as soon as we walked out and saw the cars, it was clear to me why China has manufacturing superiority. They've got the money, they've got the stones to do it, you know, like the cojones, if you will. They've got the stones to do it, and they've got the legal protection of, like, what are you gonna do? Come to China and sue us? Have fun with that, Holmes. Like, bro, yeah, you know what? One of those, damn, impressive. It would.
I'm literally, I'm adding him on WeChat right now.
You got his WeChat?
Yeah, it's in the Discord.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's put his WhatsApp in his WeChat. I am literally adding his WeChat right now.
Yes,
dude, I'm so impressed.
Okay, said it's a personal project, doesn't plan to sell it. Dude, that's still like, if you did that from photos.
Lamau, new phone. I've not logged into WeChat yet.
Boo hiss. Where do I see? I'll have to see where they put their WeChat, but
it's the green QR code underneath the WhatsApp one.
I'm in streamer mode right now, so that's probably why I don't see it.
Just I'm in streamer mode.
I can't see the QR code.
Oh wait, I'm on the web app. I'm gonna check if it's.
I can't see it
on the.
Anyways, I would love to add them on. Oh, yep. Okay, I got it. They posted it. I see it. I see it. Okay. No problem. Yep, I'm gonna add that too, cause yeah, that That's a big deal, dude. That's a big deal. Scan. Sorry, I know we're doing all this live, but, you know.
This is just
Yeah.
us just coming completely off script, being like, we love this, let's add this guy immediately.
Absolutely. Yeah, kind of want to. So let's do ER index clone builder. All right. Added. Great. Because, yeah, I'd really like to chat more. Oh, Kinamotus, 2500. Welcome to Members Only Discord. That is awesome. Thank you for joining. Send me an email, youtube@3dmusketeers.com, and we'll get you in there. Boom. They already accepted me. Sweet.
And I've sent my ad. Did I send it? I think I sent it.
I think they know who I am.
I think I sent it. Maybe I pressed send and then it just put me back on the same page. And I hope I'm not going to be that guy who sends 2 friend requests immediately back to back.
Oh, don't be that guy. So he did
definitely
mention
sent.
open sourcing
There we
it.
go.
So Bacon Milkshake expects someone will be making those parts soon. Yeah, I mean, kind of is what it is, man. This is the world that we live in, and why companies are less interested in doing fully open source anymore. But yeah, the CAD did leak. There are some people that have kept it alive on GitHub. There's actually been some really awesome like mods that have come from it. Like, people have built coil winders, so once they figure out like what wires used to make the coils, they can make their own coils in the event the coils get damaged.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that is super interesting.
Yep. So, yeah, that was unexpected, to say the least.
Very side tangenty,
like,
and
I'm over here like, oh God, quick, get it before it goes away. God bless, though, man. That is incredible. Like, to build that off of photos is nothing short of truly incredible. Right? Like, sincerely, nothing short of truly incredible.
Yep.
So
Impressive.
10 out of 10 for that. 10 out of 10 for that.
That's impressive. That is really, you should be proud. You should be really proud of that.
God, that like completely throws me off.
Complete derailed us.
Yeah, complete derailment. But that is just incredible to me.
Yep. Shall we go from something amazing to something stupid? The Sovol
I don't know if it's
multi-IDEX. Oh, I hate it. I do not understand it. It's raised £2.4 million, and I don't like it. I think it's stupid. But I'm not sure why I think it's stupid, because I haven't thought it through yet, and I'm very happy to be proven wrong, but I still think it's stupid. And do you know why? What's the point of a tool changer, Grant?
Multicolored, multi-material, whatever.
And what's the point of an IDEX?
Mirroring. Right. Productivity.
So why IDEX tool changer? In which scenarios does that make more sense?
Yeah, combining them is kind of an odd choice.
Because IDEX has problems in itself, a tool changer has problems. It's
Mhm.
not like this is independent axes where you could load one tool while the other one is finishing the layer and immediately swap in, so you have 0 downtime. That would be cool. That would be a good point for an IDEX, for independent dual extruders, putting the I in independent, but these are on the same gantry. So whenever you change tools, you're still taking the time to change tools. But now the only added feature is you get mirroring. And
So-
how often do people actually mirror printed parts to print more?
The only time that I'm like, oh, this makes total sense. Shoes. Footwear.
Why not buy 2 machines then?
It's fair.
Because you're doubling your failure rate. Any failure rate on an extruder, like filament jam or print fall over, if one falls over, you're still screwed. You have to cancel both jobs.
Well, and I guess probably the thing that's like...
apparently it's even worse. The second head isn't a tool changer, it's fixed.
Oh.
The only way I see that being beneficial is a dedicated support head. An extruder just for support material, so it doesn't have to change just to bring in support material.
That's literally how they have it shown. All 7 tool heads heat independently, allowing you to set a dedicated temperature for each one and preheat it before use. This reduces waiting and repeated reheating between tool changes for a faster, smoother, multicolor, multi-material workflow. Okay, fine. You know what? You got me, right? That is not... I thought that they could both take from the tools. I didn't realize
Which would
that
make more sense.
It would make way more sense.
It will make way more sense that both can do it, and you can have 2 support tool heads, and you just don't change it that often. This is complexity for complexity's sake, with nothing actually useful.
Well, I guess the downside of it is it actually takes up build volume, right? So you have that that entire extruder that has to go somewhere that could have gone to a bigger build plate. You know, that's... I was, like, really keen on, like, there's some, like, high case scenarios where this is valuable, but if it's also not a tool changer for the second IDEX head, I think the vast majority of users are not gonna use it. For kind of, like, what it is, you know? I'm kind of bummed now.
I don't... This seems like a interesting naming scheme with no substance. But I will say the price is okay. $1,200 bucks.
1,300 US.
Okay, 1,300. Like,
for the open frame, the ones that are all gone are the $1,600 fully enclosed ones, with a 2-year warranty. Good on them for that.
That is good, actually.
I'm bummed. Like, we've worked with Sovol in the past, and I thought that collaborations went well, but I guess it wasn't well enough to send us one. So I don't have one. What are you taking a picture of?
Us.
Oh, okay. For what? The guy?
Proving to Sultan that I'm not just a random guy.
To who?
Sultan, from the Bondtech Discord with his clone.
Oh. Got it. Yeah. Be like, yeah, the other guy's texting you too. But yeah, the M1Ds, yeah, it is. It is 1 plus 6 tool heads.
It just seems like a missed opportunity. The fact that I'm even saying that is
it really does.
stupid,
why not make them
because
both...
this isn't a good idea.
Why not make them both tool changers?
This was already a bad idea when I thought both were tool changers, and somehow you made it worse than that.
I want them to be both tool changers.
I mean, they're showing copy print mode and mirror print mode. Why can't you do that with a tool changer? Where you click in and then you get your...
Well, the issue is you can do the copy and mirror at the same speed as one, because two hot ends are faster than one.
You can't do it with different materials in multicolor, because one of those heads in copy and mirror is fixed to one color. because it doesn't have a tool changer on that head.
Right. Yeah, so if
you can't have like 2 independent support material things, so they could do the support and then pick them up and do the rest. No, you're stuck with that. This is stupidity.
Could you do a quasi mirror print mode? I don't know if this is possible, but a quasi mirror print mode where you have PVA in the head that doesn't exchange, PVA in one of your tools, PVA supports, changes out tool for regular material, the single head goes out of the way, and then you do your raw print, you know, for the mirror back and forth. I don't know if that's possible. That would save a little bit of time, but
would it? Would it actually save any time? Because you're now doing the supports on 2 things at the same time.
You would save time on the supports. That's the only time that you would save.
Just got kicked out of the Bondtech group.
No.
That is a shame. No. Oh, that is such a shame.
And there it goes.
Immortalized forever.
Unfortunately, it might be somewhat our fault for talking about it. Oops.
Whoops.
Well,
time to set up their own Discord for it.
MLV is asking, why is Bondtech censoring everyone? So, first off, 1, they can do whatever they want. It's their Discord server.
It's their Discord.
They can do what they want.
There are no laws about kicking people from Discord.
Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with that they were banning people for acting poorly. You know, when the announcement came out. I'm not so sure that I fully support that. However, I understand it because I might have done the same thing. If I worked really hard to put something out there and the community just shat on it and they're doing it in a way that I find offensive, yeah, I
can understand them being like, oh no, this hurts me because this guy has done multiple years of our research and development and made something that people are saying looks better. I can understand being salty and being like, no.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm a community member. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
That is a cool-ass project. I think it's neat. And I think it should have its ability to be out there without being censored.
But
maybe
also,
the Bondtech Discord was the wrong place.
You've got you've got some balls going to the Bondtech Discord and showing it off, right? Like you've got some balls. It's fine, but yeah, I get it. I get that people are upset about it. But similarly to how I've defended Bamboo's ability to, you know, remove people from their Discords, remove comments and things from their subreddit, it's their community. They're the ones that moderate it. They have ultimate control. We don't have to like it for it to be real. So,
yep.
So going back to the M1D, if you want the dual overlap, the 7-head printing, your build volume is 240 by 300 by 350. If you want
nothing.
If you want single nozzle, it's 300 by 300 by 350.
That's good.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't care for the 7+1 head or 6+1 head. It makes no sense.
Well,
a tool changer fixes IDEX. Why add IDEX to a tool changer unless both are going to change tools? And even then, you have the problem of IDEX.
So
it's not needed unless they're on independent gantries. If it's independent gantry dual extruder, that makes sense, where one can pick up the next tool for the print while one is printing, so there's 0 time lag between, like Sovol, take this idea. 0 time lag between, have 2 banks where the gantries are on opposite sides. So one of them's printing, and it goes back, and then the other one's immediately in. You've got rid of all your warm-up time, your changeover time, everything, because it's doing it while the other one finishes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, mirror printing goes down to 138 by 300 by 350 because you're splitting the 240 in half. Copy printing is 178 by 300 by 350, which is a really weird number that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Wait, it's Cartesian?
Yeah, it has to.
Frame
it's
is
very
aluminum
unlikely...
extrusion frame. Oh yeah, it is. It's a Cartesian laid on its side.
Yeah, it's very unlikely to be Core XY for an IDEX setup.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to say, Cartesian. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Please, nobody clip this. Is better than Core XY.
Clipped.
But if you have your linkages done correctly, you don't get racking. That's the only problem that people had with Cartesian back in the day, was they had one motor on one pull with a completely unsupported other side, and you'd get racking. But if your motors are linked and your pulleys are linked, there is zero way for one side to slip over the other unless something tremendously wrong happens. And you know how you fix that? You have two end stops, so when it hits one end stop, it will keep going until the other end stop hits, and then you're not racked anymore. It's not a problem. It's why CNCs don't have this problem. They do have racking problems, but they still use Cartesian, like, motor layouts. They use rack and pinion Cartesian H-bots for their movement because it's reliable and it does work. So that's my 2 cents on Cartesian versus Core XY. Also, Cartesian has smaller belt lengths, so you can pull faster pulls and faster accelerations and better top speeds if you do it right. Because your belts aren't as long, you don't have as much resonance from the belts. Less belt stretch as well. Just my little 2 cents. I do think Cartesian's going to come back in style sooner rather than later. The main benefit of Core XY is 2 motor movement on most axes, because they both add strength in most axes, whereas Cartesian is just 1 motor for 1 axis, so you've got a hard limit for the amount of torque you can apply. But you can fix it with more motors. Hey.
More motors fix everything. I think the thing I'm worried about, and I know it's going to piss the community off, VFAs, because they're so much more prominent on Cartesians than they are on.
But I think that's because of the belt issue. They were always using thin belts. They were always over tightened. Nobody has read the documentation from Gates for their own belts that they use across the industry. Grant, what is the minimum bending diameter for a Gates GT2 or GT3 belt?
You know, Jacob, I'm not certain, but I bet you are.
I am. It's 32 millimeters. Your pulley,
much less than that. They're like 16.
Is supposed. No, every printer uses tiny pulleys.
Yeah, they're like 16.
The actual, yeah, they're 22 pulleys. Their recommended pulley minimum unit is 32. Bet nobody ever read that in their documentation.
Mollett's making a good point here, saying the big problem with Bondtech banning people from their Discord is the fact that a lot of communication happened only there. That's fair. That is a fair point. Something that, I'm sure multiple people have pointed out to Bondtech in the past. I don't really have anything further about that. Again,
Moderation is a hard thing, and it's
Yes.
also cross-country moderation, where there's different expectations from different countries based on their own sensibilities. I would not feel bad about people getting banned, but I am bitter.
Yeah.
Kegel 3D, Jacob, what's your thoughts on Core XZ? I hate it because I don't like putting brakes on my motors, but it makes a lot of sense because one of the biggest issues is threaded rod or ball screw misalignment causing feedback into the Z system, getting Z shadowing, which belts just ignore entirely, but you also end up with a weight limit for your printed object. So it's good on smaller printers, but once you get to bigger printers, it's useless. And then there was another. Jacob, do Construct 3D printers have 32mm pulleys? No! Yes. Construct 1 does not. Construct 2 does not. But we also use 3rd generation GT2 belts. So they're 3GT GT2 belts, which are much more resilient than the standard belts used. But if everyone goes back to Grant's video at Smurf, the last time we did an actual stand at Smurf, and look at our unified gantry, we're using 38 tooth pulleys on the entire printer. NEMA 23's 38 tooth pulleys. And that is going to be the best quality for VFAs because most of the VFAs are belt induced. I can't talk too much more about that because that gantry is still in development in some very interesting machines. But that most of our machines going forward, and the INDEX printer we're making at the moment, is probably going to use 24 or 28 tooth pulleys just to alleviate that.
So here's an interesting design choice that they did. Okay. So for the Core 1 Founders Edition Index, there is one 50-20 snail blower that blows across all of the tools when they're parked. Right?
Okay.
Sovol has 730 by 30mm by 10mm blower fans. 7. So it's one for each tool. I don't know if they're fixed, docked behind the tool head itself, or if they kind of fly around with the tool. Looks like they might kind of fly around with the tool. Yeah, kind of weird. Kind of weird.
Like, I guess it's not a big problem if when you pick the tool up, it does the contactors and that provides power to the fans, because fans are cheap. Like, it could just be a value engineering thing of just add a fan to the front and don't worry about it, because it will work either way.
Mike C 8101, Sovol tools preheat on the dock. So, yep.
Yeah.
They're moving. They're either moving power or there's pogos on both sides. I'm assuming they're just moving power.
Oh yeah, because there's a USB-C cable to each head.
It's the same way that Snapmaker does it. It works.
And you know what? I'm actually okay with each head being preheatable because it reduces the time for tool change. You don't need to heat the nozzle before you do it. Though depending on the mass of the nozzle, you could get oozing, so your purge amount would be more. But yeah, like, oh, they don't preheat on the dock, they're always heated. Okay, I hate that then. You're going to degrade your filament to no tomorrow if you just leave them at temperature.
That's not what I want.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, sorry, that's...
If anyone's left PLA in a nozzle for more than like 10 minutes and then extruded it, you know it turns into liquid death. It is just sugar syrup thin and burned.
Yeah.
Even worse if you print like I do, and you always print at higher temperatures than anything anyone uses. I don't have time to wait around. I print my PLA at 250 degrees with no issues. Because it's all about the cooling, not about the temperature of the nozzle. Yeah, I don't like this printer. I like the size. I like the idea. But they've made it overcomplicated. You've got all the complexity of IDEX. You've got all the complexity of a tool changer.
I'm like...
None of the benefits of a tool changer for IDEX, because you're only doing it on one tool.
I was so looking forward to this! This machine is not what I expected it to be.
And it's got a small print volume if you're using both heads.
I mean, that makes sense, right? Like, that makes sense to me. Because, like, that's pretty typical for an IDEX, right? You have your X distance.
Also, these heads are pretty bulky by the looks of it. They're quite wide.
Yes. Yeah. But, like, also fine, you know? At
Like,
least for me,
if I
it's
was to
fine.
do an IDEX printer, because we've got designs for IDEX printers.
No surprise there.
I've said the exact same things as I said to the design like review was it makes no sense to do an IDEX printer. But the entire requirement was making that head as thin as possible so you don't lose print volume. But apparently they didn't get that memo. Like, the heat sink on those nozzles is huge.
Yeah, it's beefy. It's very beefy. Unnecessarily beefy, I would say. I think very few people are going to end up using the IDEX functionality.
Yeah.
Which is, like, not what I want, but what I know is going to happen. Because, like, what's the point? Right? Like, what's the actual point?
I don't see a consumer segment for this machine. I don't see...
I did a little
why
bit
you
ago.
would-
I don't anymore.
I don't see who would buy this. It's not your cosplayers. It's not your makers. You've got a tool changer, and yeah, the best use case for an IDEX is having a support material head. But you've got the complexity of a tool changer, so why don't you have tool changing on both? And when you're doing both, like, the print volume is kind of small.
Again, expected though. That is the 138. It's half minus a little of the 240 that you get with the dual overlap.
Also, I'm watching their video now.
I think Tanner Dudeman is perfect on this. It's feature creep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is feature creep. Like, I've just watched in their video that you can print 2 shoes at the same time. No, you can't.
You can if the supports are the same. Well, you
But
can if
you don't want to
dissimilar
print a shoe with the
supports.
same supports. You want dissimilar supports for shoes.
Ripping
also,
TPU off a TPU sucks.
In their video, their shoes are tiny. They're like size 4, maybe size 5.
Yeah, 300. Well, 350s. I'm a size 12 here in the States. So like that's 12 inches. So I would need at least a 12-inch Z. So you've got it with 350. You've got 14 in the Z. But if you're...
But what's your width? Because if you want to do 2 shoes at once, you need to put both of them with a space so the heads don't collide. I don't think you can do big shoes on this.
102 millimeters for my actual foot width for the front of my
Okay,
foot.
so 102 millimeters.
Yes,
twice.
I just grabbed a caliper and measured my foot.
So we're at 204 millimeters at the moment. And what is the width with the 2 heads active?
138. It fits.
You can't do it. You can't print 2 shoes at once.
The width of the shoe. But instead of printing them like this, you can print them like this, dude. It needs to be...
Yeah, but then you've got the height. You've got the height of the shoe because you're doing it flat. You've got 2, and then you have to make sure there's a boundary gap for the print heads to move over.
So you're always printing shoes vertically, okay?
Yeah.
So it's either do you have them like this to the printer or this to the printer, right?
Well, so as Wildemo says, sole on sole, then slanted, surface will be off. You can't do that because the sole on sole has to be separated.
Yeah.
Because your IDEX head, imagine the thickness of my hand is the IDEX head, they can only come this close, which means the nozzles which are in the middle, you have this gap, which means those objects have to be separated by at least that much.
Yeah.
And then you've got the height or the thickness of the shoe. I think they won't fit if you've got size 10 feet or higher. Because shoes are surprisingly big. I'm size 10 to 11. I don't know if UK and US sizes are the same. I'm going to double check. UK size 11 to US. It makes it an 11.5 or a US woman's 13.
Well, you figure if I'm 4 inches wide, according to 101, you've got basically 10 millimeters that you can go to add something, right? So you have half an inch.
Yeah.
It's probably not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Lance Wood 9817 said, that's just a measurement of your foot. The shoe is bigger than the foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
And 3D printed shoes have a lot of extra padding. They're not as thin as regular shoes.
No.
So they're going to be bigger.
Yeah.
I think
for reference, I did not back
lost its main selling point.
I'm not a big Kickstarter person, and if you're telling me that, and it's a Sovol. Okay, when was the last time Sovol products lasted at MSRP for more than 2 months after release? Like, never.
I don't even remember one.
You know, so $12.99 for the Kickstarter. I'm assuming actual price is going to be somewhere near $1,500 USD. I'll save the money, thanks.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong. If Sovol wanted to send us one, I'd be more than happy to look at it right now. I'd be more than happy to, you know, try out to print, you know, a pair of footwear. But similar to like the 3D printed footwear companies that have reached out to us, I don't know in good faith that we could even show their products because I am so persnickety with my back injuries about like footwear and how it feels. And if it's even remotely uncomfortable, I'm burning it, right? Like
Also,
they're going to have a terrible
video. Makes a really good point. 2-year warranty on a printer.
Oh, it's bold. Yeah. 2-year warranty.
How many printers have you got that have lasted more than a year before something went wrong?
Define wrong.
Something you'd have to claim warranty on.
Should claim warranty or did claim warranty?
Should. A wire breaking, a temperature sensor failing, basically it can't be PTFE and it can't be a nozzle, but anything else would normally be a warranty claim. Because you can't claim consumables under warranty.
I don't know. Like, I'm looking at these machines saying, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. My answer is...
like a relay failure. Or like, a heat break broken.
The Mark III was a just absolute rock-solid monster of a printer. Its one fatal flaw is that over time, the thermistor cable for the bed would, because it moving back and forth a bunch, it would wear out. But that all depends on how much you use the machine in a year. That is the closest I think I've ever gotten. But I replaced that myself because it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's so easy to do. Right? On my regular Core 1...
Oh, actually, on a complete tangent, because we're talking about warranty claims, we've had our first warranty claim.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What happened? Can you say it?
I can't say who it's for because GDPR, but their SSR relay failed early. They've had it for, I think, about 8 months, and the SSR relay failed. It stayed open, and then the other safeties had to kick in. But we've had our first warranty claim in 5 years. Well happy with that.
It's like, so far, my Core 1 hasn't had any issues that weren't my own. I caused an issue myself, unfortunately. I went to move it, and I caught the screen on the table, and I broke the mount for the screen. Have I fixed it? No. Works fine still. And I beat the piss out of that machine. I would say the Core 1L, but I don't know when we got that machine. Because, like, It's had no issues. The only issue that it's had
Yeah.
is the firmware stuff. But that's not a warranty thing, right?
Firmware is warranty.
Well, there's
If firmware breaks anything or breaks anything and you have to get it fixed, that's
no.
technically warranty.
It gets pissed on battery backups, right? That was my big gripe about the Core 1L. Otherwise, I've used my Core 1L so much, I printed off a longer spool holder for it. The spool holder's bent because of how many heavy rolls I've had on it. That Core 1L's probably gone through 300 kilos of material easily. Like, for a period of about 9 months, it ran 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 23 hours a day. Give it an hour for, back and forth stuff. With the only failures that ever occurred was when we had a power blip and the machine got pissed during that power blip. That's it. And Core 1 has been very similar to that. I had a warranty claim on the HT90 when one of the heater cores just failed, randomly failed. One of the Revo heater cores failed.
Yep.
But even that, it's like, well, I mean, technically that's an E3D part. And I think somebody was asking earlier, how's the HT90 doing? Here, I took a photo of some stuff here. Hold on. I just finished. I can show this on camera. I just finished this. 900 grams PETG.
That's clean.
17 and a half hours. So, yeah, really, really good. No issues at all. Time-lapsed the whole thing. So I got some great footage of that. Trying to think. Other than that blob, but like, it didn't. That's the same nozzle that had the blob on it. It's totally fine. Does not really have the insulator anymore, but meh. Did I make sure the nozzle was very tight before I started? Yes, in fact, I did. Have I checked it since? No. The part cooled down all night. Because we're putting PETG at 270 Celsius with a 55 degree Celsius chamber.
That's nice.
And like, Grant, why didn't you do it on any of your other machines? Because anything other than the XL wouldn't have fit it. The part was 290 millimeters tall.
Ooh.
Well, okay, I guess I could have done it in the Core 1L, but...
Yeah, but then you don't have the heated chamber.
Right. And
you want a heated chamber for PETG.
So that is... Well, you don't... It is better to have it and not need it.
PETG in a heated chamber makes it print closer to PLA than it does PETG.
Not an ounce of work.
It makes it so much easier.
So that is a 2019 speaker box for a Sea-Doo. So it's a 2019 Sea-Doo jet ski thing, and that's a speaker box for it. Client supplied file. And since the area where the speaker attaches is the bottom, that needs to stay really, really flat. Like really flat. Because if it's warped at all, you can get water ingress or you can have it damaged during install. So, yes, I could have done it on the Core 1 Plus or Core 1L. I probably should have, but I did it on the HT90 because I wanted to beat the hell out of the HT90. And because this is mostly circular, it would also help me determine, is the nozzle loose? So I'm literally going to film myself checking if the nozzle is loose, and that'll tell me, is Tommy correct or am I correct?
Yep.
Because, yeah, pretty simple. Queel is asking if I've tried the Fiberon PPS CF in it. Not yet. We haven't had a use case for PPS CF yet. I do have some. It's not from Fiberon. It's from a different company. But I have some PPS CF here. We have done Ultem 1010 on it. It was very, very, very wet. Nick is asking if we're trying to still get our hands on a burned A1. They would like to fight against Bamboo with us. Otherwise, they need to reach out to Bamboo. So we are, but at this point, unless they're local, it's probably not worth to get it shipped at this point. Just because those expenses can be very high.
They can rack up quite quickly.
And I haven't had communication with Gamers Nexus in about a month on this, so I don't know where he is on that whole process. I got to reach out to Steve and kind of see where he's at. But yeah, no, the HC90 performed admirably. I set up the camera. I'm like, okay, it goes or it blows, baby. It's going to run or it's going to fail. And I'm going to record it no matter what. And the time lapse for it is over an hour long. It's easy to speed it up. I did it at 1/30. So every second in the real world is 1 frame in the video. So that's what I ended up doing.
Yep.
Yeah, worked out great. I am so struggling with this M1D. I thought they were both tool changers.
I don't like it.
If they were both tool changers, this would have been super cool.
I still don't like it if they're both tool changers, because it doesn't make sense. If you want to just change one color, you still have to take both of them offline to change one of them.
No,
it doesn't make sense.
They can move independently, can't they?
No, they're on the same gantry.
You'd have to put them both into the docking place.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Damn. All right.
You get all the downside of IDEX with none of the upside of the tool changer. And that's if you still had both of them having tool changers. The fact that only one of them is a tool changer as well is just kind of insulting. It's a level of... Why? Because it means they made a dedicated head. Not just copied the same tool changer head for both of them.
Right.
Because they can't dump the dock somewhere. Don't like it. I feel bad for shitting on it, but they should feel bad for making it.
Also, Hendrick's here. Hi, Hendrick.
Hi, Hendrick.
The M1D, who said it? Yeah, Mike C8101. Mid was a good name for it. Like, if you ignore the IDEX and just use it as a 6 tool head machine, 300 by 300 by 350, 6 tool heads, $1,300 open, 1,600 enclosed on that super early bird that's now gone. Just ignore the second head. That's not bad.
Yeah, if you got this with one head, this is more valuable of a printer. 2-head IDEX is actually a detractor for me.
Because you could have made the build volume bigger without the IDEX.
Yeah, this would be a bigger Snapmaker.
Yeah, for a little bit more than Snapmaker. Which would have been more
popular, but instead they made a better machine and worse.
All right. Here's one. Snapmaker's $850. Okay, yeah. Let's assume this is going to be $1,500 for its reasonable price point. Snapmaker's 270 cube. This is 300 by 300 by 350 and has 2 extra heads. Is it worth close to double the price?
What is the Snapmaker build volume?
270 cube.
270 by 270 by 270. So I've got the volumetric price ratio for... what is the price of the Snapmaker?
Right now it's 900, but it tends to dip into the 850 range, so I would go with 850 reasonable. Because, like, similarly, I'm going to price the open frame M1D at 1,500 because I just don't think Sovol's going to sell it at 1,800 all the time. I think they're going to sell it closer to 1,500.
And we've got the Sovol here, and we're going to call it 1,500.
Yep. It's the tools. You get 2 extra tools.
Oh, you're going to like this. So the value proposition for the Sovol is... So this is how I've done the math. You take the build volume and turn it into cubic millimeters.
Right. Right.
So you can then multiply them all together to get a single vector price for size. So you've got 1500 by your single vector price. It's how long of a straight line do you get for your money, and then you can divide them across. So 1500 divided by the straight line vector is 0.00004, meaning for every dollar you spend, you get and this is in millimeters, so I need to convert this to meters. So millimeters to meters is that. Oh no, that'll make it smaller. Okay, no. So it's 0.00047. So importantly, 47 is every dollar you spend, you get blah 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 47 cost per millimeter cubed. The Snapmaker at 850 is 0.0000043.
So they're
basically identical in cost per volume.
Okay, so then ideally the Sovol would be a better deal with the two extra tool heads.
Would be a better deal because that's not including the extra tool heads.
Yeah.
Ironically, for anyone watching, this is how internally as a company we categorize printers between prosumer, consumer, enterprise, and industrial, is entirely price versus print volume. Now, we don't use any other features because you can gauge everything from price versus print volume.
That's really cool. I didn't expect it to be that close. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll put into the chat the differences,
so
people can see them.
For 150 more on the Snapmaker, you get the top hat. Okay. Sovol is claiming 2100 USD for their advanced version, which is enclosed and has a heated chamber to 60 Celsius. I would argue that 2100 US probably going to sell for around $1,800 to $1,900. So I would say 1,900 is probably pretty safe on that, like $1,899.
Do you want me to do that math?
Yes, I'd like to see the $1,000 for the Snapmaker versus the 1,900 for the Sovol M1D advanced, and that's fully enclosed with a heater. The Snapmaker does not have a heater. While you're doing that, I got a super chat here from Opinion Panda saying, every time I hear about the H90, I think, damn, I want one. So I go to the site and look at it and see that it's $12,000. It's like my brain doesn't want to acknowledge how expensive it is. Yes, if you're not constantly printing high temp materials and you're not running into limitations with your current setup, the HT90 is probably not for you. If you are a business that wants to do business with other businesses, yeah.
So I've got the value proposition back for Sovol versus Snapmaker. Sovol is 60, so I'm getting rid of all the decimals, I'm making them equivalent, versus Snapmaker's 50. So the Snapmaker is a better deal for an enclosure, but this doesn't take into account the benefits of either. This is just price to volume as a calculation. And I would say, again, the Sovol with its extra heater
make it pushes it back into
worth it.
Because
1100?
Yeah, because you can get a Panda Breath for about $100 and you can make it heated.
5.5.
Okay.
They're basically the same price though.
So now they're getting much
value
closer.
Proposition.
Yeah,
in value proposition they are identical. You have a 10% difference in value proposition.
That's much closer than I would have expected.
5.5 versus 60.
Much closer than I would have expected it to be.
They are competitive, but again, can you get the Snapmaker with the Sovol with one head?
No.
So it's shit. Because they don't understand what they were arguing about. Like, we've just analysed if it was a single head, would it be a better choice than the Snapmaker? And arguably, yes. It's the same value proposition, but bigger, with some benefits. But they've detracted it with this two-headed IDEX.
But you don't have to use the second head. It doesn't matter. You don't have to use it. It's the same price.
You're carrying it around with you at all times.
Yes, there's some added weight. I guess in theory, if you really wanted to, you could just pull it off. Yeah, I mean, I think it will come down to, can Sovol deliver a product that out of the box has the experience of what the Snapmaker has been for me? Because the Snapmaker out of the box experience was really good. And the FlashForge C5 out of box experience has been pretty good too.
Which I'm surprised about. FlashForge normally have terrible out of box experiences.
It was okay. Like, the problem with it is it doesn't run real Clipper.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you wanted to, you can't
that.
put Moonraker on it, I guess, is what people are saying. I don't know. I never connected it to the internet. Rob Lutter said, I bet Snapmaker didn't take 2 months to print upon startup without jumping through hoops like my SV08 took. And that's kind of the thing. Sovol has this kind of history of delivering like an 80% product because they're cloning other companies. Now, they're cloning open source products, right? The SV06 and the SV06 Plus, Mark III, Mark IV, okay?
Yep. And I've got to say, while there's nothing illegal about it,
no, it's
I do
fine.
Judge them.
It's fine.
I do judge them just a little bit.
With the SV08, where it's a 2.4 clone, 350 millimeter cube 2.4 clone, they actually donate money to the Voron project, which, cool.
And I know they do that.
Great.
I know they do that because I've spoken to people from the Voron project and they have received money. And that is cool. Got to hand it to them. That is useful.
They've always been the poverty option, if you will, right? Like, oh, you don't want to get a Voron, you want a cheaper Voron. Well, yeah, the poverty Voron's an SV08. You want a poverty Giga, it's an SV08 Max. It's not as big as a Giga, but it's big. 500 millimeter XYZ is a pretty damn big printer. You know, I would argue that even, I'm trying to think of like what other machines it would be poverty of, but the M1D is kind of in its own category with this IDEX because it's not going after the Vision Miner, right? It can't get that hot. Nobody else is really doing IDEX anymore, right? Like 6 tool heads, you're kind of going after what like a Core 1L with Index would have, but that's going to have 8. And it's also going to be at least $3,000.
Like, we have a high temp C2 design, but it's not going to be Index. It's not going to be Index, and it's not going to be IDEX either, because it just doesn't make sense for high temp. Because a lot of the support materials, they get a bit funky at high temp. Like, if your chamber temperature is like 150 degrees, 200 degrees, you can't really print PVA. No. You can barely print hips because it can survive that temp, but it becomes a battle. Like, you want to have a lower chamber temperature to have support materials, but then your bed temperature also can't be too high, because if you just slap a 200 degree heated bed on, your support material becomes funky again.
Oh, you're gonna have a real problem. You're gonna have a real problem.
Yeah, we've basically, other than the head, which I do like the ability to print high temp material, we've put a limit on the maximum chamber temperature of 80 degrees on any product we make, because it just becomes too much of a nightmare. Like, we've got external motor drivers, we can keep everything, the print head, everything cold, and only the chamber is hot. But again, it's like, the only people buying it in the market segment are big engineering firms who wouldn't buy from us anyway, because they will only buy Stratasys.
Right.
So it doesn't make a lot of sense. You can print on a high temp head peak in a 60 degree chamber. You just can print smallish things. And at 70 degrees, you can print small medium things. And if you overclock the heater and get to 80, you can print small, medium plus things. But you can't ever print big things unless you are Stratasys level money and certification, because that's the real reason they buy them, is the certification.
Like, I can see the reason for IDEX on like a high temp machine. Like, I wish there was a second head on the HT90, and I see a huge benefit for the 22 IDEX having that second head, because you can use like nylon or a special, you know, PEEK or Ultem support material when you're printing it in a material like PEEK or Ultem, where it's $500 a kilo cost, right? So having a support material that's only $100 a kilo cost, great.
Also, I'm pretty sure the Ultem support material is actually Ultem. It's just Ultem with like 80% filler.
Yeah, it might be a mix.
Like a powder, so it barely binds to anything.
I have some
but
actual
I still
Ultem.
think it's an Ultem base.
If you want to mess with some, I have some real Ultem support material from Stratasys. I can pull some off. Yeah, I can pull some off the reel for you.
Yeah. If you take like a little sample, the next time you come over into the country, I'll go send that off mass spectrometer and see what's in it.
Yeah, I bought them all for basically next to nothing because they were all expired. They expired like a decade ago. But who cares? They're still vacuum sealed.
Well, don't open them if they're vacuum sealed. I wouldn't do that to you.
Don't care. We're gonna be working on some better dryers around the shop anyways. And Mollet says, note that they donate money, but they don't have any business relationship with the Voron team, no agreement. Voron published under license that made it legal, and they take donations from about anyone. And that's fair. But I'm glad Sovol's doing something rather than nothing, which is legally they don't have to do anything. Other than publish their own CAD as well. Like, you know, publish their own stuff. Yeah. I guess after looking at the specs and seeing that, no, it's not 2 tool changers, it's a tool changer plus another head.
Yep.
If you ignore the other head, it's got a decent value prop. But having that other head, I don't know.
It detracts from it.
It adds unnecessary complication. I think if Sovol came out with the M0D, I don't know, that got, or the M1A, right? D would be dual. M1S.
Single?
Yeah, for single.
Yeah.
Right? Where it didn't have the IDEX. And let's say you dropped another $300 from the price point. Well,
I'd buy that. That's a really good value proposition.
Yeah, hold the phone. That's a great. And now you're starting to kick into the Snapmaker market, right? You're getting to like that $1,200 mark, right? Because I assume again $1,500 for the open frame. You're gonna get down to that $1,200 mark where Snapmaker's $850, asking you to go another 50% to get a bigger build volume and 50% more tool heads actually seems viable to me. That seems like a complete legitimate thing to do. I got no concerns with that.
Yeah.
I was like, and see, you can tell how little research I've done on it. I'm like, I was cautiously optimistic about it, but now it's like, I want to understand from a business standpoint why they decided to do this. Like, is there that much demand for the mirror mode and copy mode that it was worth it? I do like the tools are on the backside, though. I would have much preferred to see the index tools for Prusa on the back. I would have much preferred to see it on the back. I think that is. I mean,
I'm gonna quote back to Spice King earlier in this stream, where this is just Jacob Mates Grant sad stream.
Yep.
Because that's all I've been doing to you, where you come in like, look at this printer, and I'm like, it's shit. It's terrible. You should feel bad for considering it.
It's not your fault, right? You're showing and explaining something to me that I clearly didn't take the time to figure out myself because I wanted to do it live. Because I think it's more fun.
I'm going to make David Konashova feel bad as well. He said copy mode good for printing loads of small parts. No, because you have to have independent head adjustment for the build plate.
They have that.
Otherwise, your first layer is going to be terrible.
They have that.
But do they?
Yes.
So the heads can actually move up and down for the bed level independently.
One of them moves. I don't think the other one does. But that's fine.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
But also you've now got twice the failure rate.
Eddy sensors. Sure, you've got a potential issue for more failures.
Two cheaper machines doing will be faster and more reliable than one machine doing both.
What if you're in the single color Flexi Dragon industry, okay?
I wouldn't buy this for that.
Why not?
I'd buy Bamboo Lab A1s.
Hmm.
Do you know how much more throughput I can get on a Bamboo Lab A1 with a high flow nozzle?
Yeah, that's... Shit. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, because they'll take up more space, but they're so much cheaper. You can get 3 of them for the price of one of these.
Colgate.
If you have space availability, and space is not at a premium like it is for me, yes, an A1 might make more sense.
Yeah, like, I don't see this being for the makers, because both its price point to size. I don't see this being for industry, because you've got your tool changer, which kind of does that job anyway, but now you're adding another head, so they're just going to pick a tool changer, not this. I don't see the customer segment for it. There's no market segment. Like, it's not cosplayers. It's not engineers who need support material, because any tool changer would do that, and there's different ones out there on the market. The only thing I could think of was if your dedicated head was only a support material, and you were doing like big art pieces with the tool changer. That's the only thing. But then your build volume's not that big if you're using both heads.
Yeah, if you're using the dual overlap, it's 240 by 300 by 350.
Like,
and that 60 millimeters matters a lot.
Instead of saying like dual overlap, maybe it's just you have to move one head out of the way to do the other. You might get a bit more space, but then...
Well, that's what dual overlap is. It's moving one head out of the way.
Yeah, it's not that big then.
Yeah, the 240... Like, people were complaining about the loss of Y travel for INDEX. It's like 10 or 15 millimeters.
Oh, that's nothing.
This is 60.
When I was looking at an IDEX setup, you lose the entire print head's size.
Yeah, which in theory is
X dimension.
60 millimeters. You're losing 60 millimeters, so in theory it's a 60 millimeter
Well,
wide.
no, it's actually a bit more, because it's the tool head size plus the nozzle distance to the edge.
Oh, it's half. Well...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's half.
Well, no, it depends on the distance for where the nozzle, because if they do, like, asymmetric stuff... I really hope that my phone isn't picking this up.
To some extent,
there's a random kid in the street with a vuvuzela. And this is... For legal reasons, this is a joke, but if there's a kid in your street with a vuvuzela, they have accidentally signed up for the ability for them to be immediately punted into the closest window. Just saying. And if you give your kids vuvuzelas and just let them out in the street at 8 p.m.
Or you could be like the politician that rang my doorbell at 10 a.m. yesterday. And when I came out and said, because he was walking back to a truck, I said, "Hey, can you read?" He's like, "Oh, have a good day, sir." I said, No. Can you read?" He's like, "Yeah, why?" I said, "So why didn't you read the sign at the end of the street that said, 'No trespassing, private road, don't come down here'?" "Oh, well, have a good day, sir." The worst part is, the guy had my vote. And instead of coming to talk to me, apologizing like a man, and having a conversation about it, got back in his truck and left. And it's like, bro, you say that you're a farmer and, you know, you're going to keep data centers out. Great, we can vote data centers out too, don't worry. He's got a lot of like the things that I like to see from a politician. But you ran away from someone that asked you a tough question, and I don't like that. That upsets me.
Yeah.
It wasn't Matt the welder. It was, God bless it. He works in your office, Jonathan. He's a firefighter for Hillsborough County. Let me see. Pasco County Commissioner?
Also, just
No.
random ADHD tangent. I don't know who put it in the chat about the US patent 9022771-B2 from Stratasys. Yeah, that patent's bullshit and it will never work. It won't work. It doesn't. The math doesn't math on their design. While there is some research, it's feasibly impossible unless the extruder is £1 million, and even then, just having a better control loop will do the same job as what they want to do.
I'm trying to find him, John. I'm having a hard time. No, it's not Mo Lopez. It's got a long last name.
I will, for anyone curious, I will put the patent link back in the chat. It's a Stratasys patent to get better flow control. However, it is just vaporware. It does not work that way.
I don't know who it is.
Liquid crucible does not work.
I'm now upset at this, but basically, yeah, dude ran away when he got asked a tough question rather than, actually caring. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I think it was like for a commissioner position, but yeah, he is/was a firefighter with Hillsborough County for like 30 years. He's a minister. Not that I care about that. Oh no, he stuck his pamphlet in the door. And yeah, rather than having a conversation, he ran, which I don't like.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yep. Did not like that. Anyways, I can't find his name, so oh well. Is it a local position? No. I don't know.
Oh.
No. It was a country boy, John.
A country boy.
I wish I could see like who's running for office in Florida right now for Pasco County, and I could figure out who it was.
Oh, thank you.
But
I have pizza.
nice.
It's the making Sawsome time again.
Nice.
I got pizza.
I'm like so bummed about this now. Like legitimately bummed about the very mid Kickstarter that is the M1D.
Yeah.
PC Evangelist said, to be fair, I think I would haul ass too if the Florida man would come out like that. I did come out a little aggressive because it was very clear. He had a horse trailer with a huge sign on the back of it. There are no horses in the trailer. It was just a horse trailer. And I told him, I said, you're trespassing. You can't read. What are you doing? He's like, have a good day, sir. Like, cool, dude. Cool. I had every right to pull a gun on you. But whatever. I didn't, to be clear. I was very much a jerk to him, though. And the worst part is, like, prior to that interaction, he had my vote. And I'm not certain that he's got my vote anymore because of that. And that's upsetting to me. But,
Yep.
yeah, is what it is.
Anyway, I feel the energy has dropped off. I've thoroughly destroyed your happiness about this printer.
Yeah.
Should we wrap it up there and bring it into the Discord where we can let the lovely Discord members at the $10 tier or higher a good time to join, where we can talk about this with you guys in person.
And I will go and try to find the leaflet that he left in my door, so I can figure out exactly who it is. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. You have thoroughly knocked the wind out of my sail. I hope that you're happy, and I firmly believe that you are.
Yeah, I am.
So,
making you suffer does give me some enjoyment.
Yep. Oh, wait. Jonathan just sent me the list of people. Hold on. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. The name will scream at me when I see it. I don't see it yet. Oh my gosh. All right, do the outro while I work for this.
Okay, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today, where I have thoroughly ruined Grant's emotional state
Just
of
killing
all
me,
of his
man.
hype. I know. I am really good at spreading the depression soup.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Jacob.
Rosie. But no, I hope everyone out there stays safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. And as always, keep making awesome. Because you guys are awesome.
You
Stay
are
awesome.
awesome.
You're
And
awesome.
They should be. Yes, go enjoy. I can't find the guy's name. I'm gonna have to go check the leaflet that he left in my door.
So not just did I ruin Grant's emotional state, I'm making him spiral into political speak.
Yes,
now.
leave a like on the video. There's 240 of you still there.
If everyone leaves a like right now, YouTube sees this massive spike in likes and it just does great for the analytics. So to screw YouTube over, please everyone like this video. Like right now. Literally right now. Do it.
I can't argue with that. But all right, y'all. Let me stop the recording. But let me edit this and send you all to go hang out with Mr. Steve Builds.
And Georgie, I can't change my name to Marvin. It's James Bondtech.
It totally is.
That is my official name.
Is this it? I hope it is. All right, y'all. We will see you later. Be safe. Go hang out with Mr. Steve Builds. We're going to go right into him. And we'll see you later. And if you're in the Discord, see you in the Discord shortly.